All right, let's get right into this match. Lucas Gamer, did you get the invite to the clan? Let me take care of that here in 1 second. There is the. Try to. Oh. All right. Whew, the World Finals has begun. All right, webcam 1. All right, I'm live. Let's go to studio mode. What's up, everybody? I'm putting you on right now. All right. Whee! Right.
Hey man, I'm not sure if they can hear me or not yet, but if you just want to cast this game while it's going, that's fine with me. You can put me in whenever you got some downtime between matches.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I'm trying to find the thing. It's alright though. This game's already over. Zilly's already won. I'm trying to get the.
Thank you.
Alright, it's coming now. Oh, I should. I'm gonna send it to you on. Let's transition this. All right, you're live on the stream now. I gotta start.
Howdy, everyone.
A little bit, but... What's up, everybody? We got Woody on the channel. Oh no, my green! It's falling apart, man. It's falling apart. Production quality 1,000. All right, let's do it. Yeah, man, dude. This thing is like terrible. All right.
I am in the clan now. I'm happy to report. I see the second game is now underway between Lucas X Gamer and Ilias. I know in China is super busy setting the stream up, so everyone who's watching, thank you very much for tuning in. I know we've got best of 5 matches between these players, but there's 9 in total for each team. The finals of MGL Worlds. And chatting, it's a pleasure to join you here, man. I know this is one of the best tournament series in the world, and I'm really looking forward to seeing which country comes out on top, the number 1.
Yeah, it looks like there might be a bug in the game where they have started. So let's take a look at Lucas Gamer and Ilias. Apparently that was a bug, so it didn't show in the clan chat. They are playing right now. Golem on the left-hand side for Lucas Gamer. Flying Machine's going to do a little bit of work. Log coming in on the left-hand side to knock back the Golem, but this might be a tower for tower. Oh, man.
Yeah, looking likely.
Yeah, I mean, this is a problem, though, because if you're a Ilias right now, this is kind of like the last thing you want. You don't want a tower trade with a Golem, especially if you're the Giant player.
Nah, Golem's going to work a whole lot better in that double elixir time, and we're getting to it awfully soon here. Lucas Gamer might be able to turn this thing around and get the win after all.
Yeah, let's see what he can do. As I'm adjusting our heads. Like, if you see this, like, you're like 10 times bigger than me. Well, naturally, I mean, you got like a huge head compared to mine, dude. Whenever we're casting, it's like I'm like the little man.
I'm only slightly bigger. Yeah, the 10 times effect that you see here on camera is not real, guys. Don't believe.
Woody's like 6'4", and I'm like, he's a massive man.
Whoa, Ilias is getting a huge hit over on the right side. Nightwitch connects and brings the tower down to triple digits. Got a final bat spawn at the last second there and bringing it down to 827. Lucas is going for the 3 crown, though. I guess he's got to play the same lane as Ilias, otherwise he doesn't have any support troops to deal with the Nightwitch and guards and everything that's coming at him, huh?
Yeah, he only has 20 seconds left, so all he's got to do is defend the 743. Do you just giant right now in the corner and try to steal it?
He's got to murder this Golem first. I think it's fine. He's got no pressure coming at him except for this Golem, so deal with that first, and then you can worry about the next counterattack.
Yeah, man. I think Ilias might actually be able to take this game. I think Lucas Gamer just didn't have enough, wasn't able to formulate a good enough push here, and this Giant is going to be able to not connect.
Oh, just barely.
Oof.
He's chipping away to a victory, though. Only a little bit more spell cycle, and he'll have it. If he gets one punch from a Giant, or a minor slap, that might be value.
Oof, Lumberjack protected him, but I mean, is it enough? You know, like you got 443 right now. You're running into a ticking time bomb to where, what are you now? 2 poisons away, and this Giant's going right for the tower. Can he stop it? One swing and it's over.
Oh, got it.
Ilias going up 2-0 to start it out for France. I mean, this is not looking good right now for Brazil, but it is, the first set. We've seen actually the first 3 sets go to one team and then reverse sweeps the entire rest of the way. So anything can happen, but we're going to have to find out if Ilias could bring this back. Currently, Lucas Gamer, can bring this back. Brazil currently down 0-2 in the first set.
Now, this is a reverse of their fortunes from the semifinals. Lucas Gamer actually won his semifinals match against his Brazilian opponent, and it turns out that Ilias lost his semifinals match against his Chinese opponent. So the fact that they're turning it around right now means to me that Ilias is really trying to prove his value to the team. He's one of the best French players of all time. And, we saw him perform at ESWC. I think that there's a lot to be said for him being able to get a 3-0 here, if that's what he's able to pull off against Lucas.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing that happened there was Ilias went 0-3, I believe, in the semifinals. So he has something to prove right now. He is, like you said, the best player in France, the most respected player in France. And coming with that is you have a lot of expectation, In the semifinals, he kind of, flaunted a little bit there, going 0-3. But right now, if he can bring it back and go 3-0 in the finals, guess what? A lot of people have really short attention spans. They're not going to remember what happened in the semifinals.
Oh, you won on the championship team? Yeah. I think we're going to forgive you for a little bit of a mess up in the semis, right?
Yeah. The semifinals? Wait, what was that? I just watched you go in the finals and win. That's all that matters to me. All right. Looks like Royal Ghost on the left-hand side from Ilias. We haven't been seeing that many Royal Ghosts in the meta right now. I think there's only like two decks that really have it. It's like this bait style deck and then the Mega Knight Royal Ghost. But I know a lot of people favor the Skeleton Barrel instead of the Royal Ghost in that Mega Knight Minor deck. Ooh, Graveyard coming out from Lucas Gamer here. This is going to be a lot of damage. I think Zillies might be in a little trouble here.
A little bit of danger as he goes down about 1,000 hit points. He's been trying to save up that elixir, but just hasn't gotten an opening to do it yet. Yeah, that Royal Ghost took a big hit in the balance update. He's still viable, but we don't see him all over the place quite as much anymore. And I think that the competitive community is happy as a result.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those cards where if you throw it at the bridge and you just don't have an answer to it, you have air or something like that, or if you have just like goblins, they just get absolutely destroyed. So you sit there and you're like, great, I have to take 2 swings on my tower just because this thing, you know, turns invisible. And you could just spam it at the bridge at any time, and it's 3 elixir, you know? It's kind of, how many times are you sitting there where you throw Mega Man in the back where it does absolutely nothing and kind of just, like, goes to its death just to, like, out, you know, just to cycle. The Royal Ghost, on the other hand, that thing does a ton of damage if it connects on the tower.
We saw Zillies trying to lane swap there, sending all 3 Musketeers down the right side. Do you think he's going to be able to pull it off? Nope, another tornado makes it happen again.
Yeah, I mean, just Lucas Gamer's playing this perfect. If Zillies can't split his Musketeers, I mean, they're just going to continue to get log tornado down, and we're just watching beautiful plays by Lucas Gamer and just slow chip on the left-hand side. 819 left. What does Zillies have to do to bring this back? I mean, with these perfectly placed tornado. Oh! Wow.
Sets down some little mini Sparkies. The Zappies in between that tornado, able to push one of the Musketeers to the left. Not an ideal result, but enough firepower to give him a little bit of a chance to push over on the left side.
Could that have been the play that maybe brings him back? Look, the Royal Ghost's going to be raged on the tower. Wow.
Oh, my God.
If he brings this back, wow.
Just like that, he's ahead now in damage. Double elixir time is the chance to shine for these 3 Muskies decks. But Lucas Gamer knows his secret now. He knows that he can try to pull off that little Zappies push, and he's not going to let it happen easily.
No, I mean, the Zappies 3 Musketeers, he's got a tornado the moment 3 Muskies are played, because these Zappies are a problem. I mean, if you're able to stop a tornado from pulling, I think Zillies, he needs to be pushing the 3 Musketeers in the back, but he can't because of the poison graveyard that's going to happen, and it will probably be good game. So I don't know how he's going to be able to drop the 3 Musketeers and the Zappies again, like he did earlier, to get that off, because I think that's the only way. I don't know. I mean, he is pushing this right-hand side now. Do you think he just continues to just cycle 3 Musketeers and then just chip them down? I think that might be the answer.
I think you're right about that. You know, Lucas hasn't gotten a chance to attack in a very long time now. He's just been defending against this unrelenting wave of Musketeers coming out of his tower, left, right, whichever way it's going to come at you. You got to deal with it with you know, one way or another. And this time we see 7 elixir going down to try to stop those ladies. They finish off the tombstone, and it's a relative dead heat at this point. Can Lucas keep that tornado pressure up and try to get another sneaky graveyard in here? Oh, he's going to go for it right now.
Can he do it? This is going to be a huge push. 1:09 left. I think he loses this game if he doesn't really get the damage that he needs. The Zappies are already on the field. The Royal Ghost. If you're a Zillies, do you just go all in? I mean, you have to poison if you're Lucas Gamer on the left-hand side, but you can't afford to because he's got the triple Muskies. And beautifully played by Zillies. Like we said, he just needed to get the 3 Musketeers down in the back because now you can't really tornado him as well. Ooh. If you're Zillies, do you go all in on the left-hand side right now?
I don't think that he's got enough to go all in with. You know, he's back up to 10 elixir, but he doesn't have very much to play with. Maybe he can get these Zappies to help out a little bit, but they don't deal that much damage. I think only 30 seconds left. I think Lucas probably will be able to hold on here.
Oh, well, 3 Musketeers being played. You're not going to be... Oh! But you got to poison this right-hand side. 3 Musketeers, Zappy, and Royal Ghost. The log comes down. This is not looking good for Lucas Gamer. He might lose here. Royal Ghost is on the tower. Oh, Lumberjack left-hand side. It's... Oh, my goodness. Is he going to be able to hold on?
He blocks the Royal Ghost with the ice.
No, he didn't. He put the Ice Wizard near the tower.
With
oh my
second left.
Dude, he panicked. Oh, the panic Ice Wizard, guys. if you're playing versus a Royal Ghost, don't place your troops on your tower. It does splash damage. Oh, he would have timed. I think that was a situation where he panicked and just... Oh, no, he's even saying in the chat. Oh. Oh.
What an incredible win. I don't think I've ever seen a game of Clash Royale get closer than that.
No, you can't.
Tiny bit of damage he got. From the log to the Ice Golem slap.
He was still at 1 life, but that last swing at like 0.8 seconds left in the game. Oh, he knows it too. The moment he placed that Ice Wizard, he probably was just like, all the like, his entire like body went white, you know? Like where you're just like, all the blood in your body just like evaporates because you're just like, oh no. Oh man. Well, it's all right though. No big deal here. No big deal here.
That's gotta be painful for Brazil though. A 3-0 sweep in the very first set. Ilias is on fire. Gets that point on the board for the French team, and only need 4 more guys to do the same thing, and they'll be the world champions.
Yes, all it takes is a win in a best-of-5 series, which means, you know, France is up 1-0. 4 more to go. I mean, look at that. I mean, Paul, Lupanji, Doberman, Blazer, Tom Jetasaur, Donkey Kong at the end. I mean, France has got a strong lineup the whole entire way. I mean, Brazil is no slouch either. Just to get here, these countries had to take down USA, Venezuela, you know, Mexico got knocked out, Italy.
The champions from last year.
Yeah, insane matches that happened the entire way. And I just cannot wait to see who is going to be crowned the world champion. But before that, you know, we still got a lot of game left to play. I mean, Ilias may have went 3-0, but let me tell you, these matches have been upsets all around. Crazy matchups, crazy comebacks, and he missed the log on the Royal.
Oh no, that's deadly.
These little mistakes, and the problem is when you're playing at this high of a level, one little mistake where you lose your tower like this, Goo is now going to go into full defense mode the rest of the way. And the problem is, how do you get past somebody who's going to go full defense, you know? Because when you're a pro and you go just, I'm going to play defense the entire rest of the game, you have to take down 2,000 life in a minute. It's almost impossible, right? Like, what needs to happen for Paul to come back and win this game?
Well, Nova Goo, I think, did play that flying machine on the wrong tower. Gives Paul a little bit of wiggle room here, but nice poison over on the left side means that he doesn't have to worry too much about that hut out back. Paul's really got to be able to stack up and just trick Nova Goo in one way or another. I think that he might have to pressure both lanes, you know, catch him off guard and hope that Nova Goo makes the same sort of magnitude of error as he made early on in dropping that right side.
100%. But can he do it? Graveyard is not going to be the answer.
Way too aggressive.
Yeah, I mean,
but only 14 seconds left. Can you blame the guy? He didn't have a whole lot to do.
No, he had to do something there. I mean, he took it down to 1273, but this is, full defense by Goo, which means he's going to take a little bit of damage on the tower, but when your tower's full life, you can easily hold on. And just like that, Brazil is going to be on the board, striking right back. Now it's going to be 1-0 Goo to start out this second set here. Let me just get some water really quickly once this game starts. So just commentate the beginning while I just get some water. I just gotta click the game whenever it happens.
Okay. Yeah, some people were asking for game sound too. I don't know if it's possible with all the different video.
Wait, game sound's not on?
They said it was kind of low.
Well, let me fix that.
Yeah, I think it's not on at all.
Yeah, we can get that on. I thought it was on. Sorry.
Well, Brazil's got a point on the board now. There were 5-3 finishes for each of these teams in the semifinals, so they didn't have an easy run here, like you said earlier. But never had to put in their last and final player. Today it's Donkey Kong on the French team and Gustavo for the Brazilians. Pretty similar lineup to before, though. We've seen Nova Gu starting off early for the Brazilians. They must have a lot of confidence in him. Defensive minor right off the bat, though, suggests to me that he's not really committing hard to this push just yet. Log rolls through, whacking out that skeleton barrel, and knocking down a lot of goblins. Nova Gu's going to keep going, though. Right side's going to get some bats to help out that little spear goblin. One tiny little poke over the right side brings it down at 24-17. And it seems like two very careful, measured control decks. Nova Gu playing a much more bait-oriented version. Paul's got quite a bit of bait in his deck, too, though. Both Goblin Gang and Dark Goblin we've seen so far. But a Mega Knight wallops so far, frankly, crushing him at the bridge. He's going to go in for the counterattack with the bats to support. Let's get this battle ram first, though. I don't want to have too much trouble. Hits pretty hard, and the bats helping him out, meaning that there's going to be some damage over to the right side tower. Chip it away. All 4 bats are connected, and half health remains on that right side tower. Great early strike from Nova Gu. Still no damage on either of his towers yet.
No damage at all. Beautifully played so far from Gu. Looking like Brazil is coming back strong in this second set. Let's see if he can hold on, though. Double elixir time is a different animal, though. Whenever double elixir time happens, anything can happen. You know, a lot of these players, some of these players play decks where your deck really ramps up once double elixir time comes in. And let's see if Paul's maybe running, what, 3 Musketeers here, maybe?
I've noticed that Nova Gu is really unafraid of playing that defensive minor up against the Warrior Ghost. Do you think that's a good call there? He hasn't really played it against his opponent's side of the field at all. He's just been using it on defense. Oh, there he goes. He does use the minor offensively at least one time here. Catches a little bit of Warrior Ghost on the backside, though.
Alright, I just have to lower the
Gotcha.
A little too high. A little too high. Alright, Pekka on the right-hand side here, going to do a little bit of smacking around, but oh, the Electro is going to lock onto the Inferno Dragon!
Oh, not yet! Oh, a little late. Spear Goblins were in the way, and the fact gets burnt to a crisp. Nonetheless, heavy-handed counterattack coming on in. Minor in the back gets caught, though. Well done to Paul on that. Zap goes down to get a few goblins there, but the Inferno Dragon locks on, burns it up! All the way down!
Wow, whenever an Inferno Dragon locks onto your tower, it's one of those situations where you just like, you look and you like panic. It's like, just drop everything, but these don't hit air! Oh, wow, but Brazil coming right back. And this is kind of what you expect, you know what I mean? I expect this to be a 5-4 finish. I expect this to go all the way to the end. And I really think, I don't know who's going to win, to be honest with you. I think it can go either way. I mean, I think we're going to see a Donkey Kong Gustavo finish, and I think Donkey Kong edges it out in that matchup.
Okay. Solid prediction. I've seen Donkey Kong play before. I can definitely vouch for his skills. Not quite as familiar with Gustavo, but I know that he's played really well in some of the earlier rounds of the MGL Worlds, right? Have you seen him at all?
Yeah, I've seen all of them. I mean, Gustavo actually clutched it for them versus USA. He actually took down Music Master in the 9th match versus Music Master. Gustavo actually, you know, he did take down the 2nd player in the world, you know, so he's no slouch, you know. It's not like you're sitting over here and you say, oh, Donkey Kong's got this. Who's Gustavo? No, Gustavo already took down Music Master. If you don't know who Music Master is, you need to go check out the Clash Royale World Championship. A bottle rim on the tower!
Oh my god. The Punish Supreme! Right side torn down to 83 hit points. And a minion horde to murder this attack. Zap comes in, helping out a little bit here, but I don't think a Rage Nightwitch is going to get much work done with an Ice Golem in the way.
No, not at all. And beautifully played there from, Wow, Paul, that's what you call punish. If you're gonna punish somebody, that's how you do it right there. Beautifully played by Paul. Goo getting down a second pump though. Could this be? Oh, Paul's got a pump of his own. So 3 Musketeers versus Golem. Gonna be very interesting this Golem right here for you. I think this is the game. If Paul can somehow defend this, I think he'll be able to win the game.
He's sending in the heavy guns to deal with this Golem. Only 2 on the right side instead. I thought he'd apply more pressure at the left. I guess he might be concerned about his spell hitting that pump and 2 of the Muskies at the same time, but he's going to have a lot of trouble being able to deal with this left side push with only 1 Musketeer. Yeah, he's just going to drop it in chatting.
Oh, he's going for the triple though. All right, let's see if he can get the 3 count. Oh, the tornado from Goo. That is not the answer. Double Muskies on the King Tower. But this is a dead lethal push on the left-hand side. I think this might be a 3 crown, Woody.
Paul just let his guard down. He had this game in the bag, and all of a sudden he's in a lot of trouble. The right side's getting lumberjacked with the bits, and the King Tower is getting pulverized at the same time. Nova Goo has done it. Brazil soaks an 0-3 in the first set, but turns it around with great gusto. It's now a 1-1 draw between France and Brazil. Whew.
Oh, wow. Well, that's 3-0 to 3-0. We played 6 matches. Guess what? 6 games, and it is 1-1. That is the lowest amount of games that you can play to get there. France and Brazil, so far, both have won 3 games. Man. I didn't expect this to start out like this, though. I didn't expect it to start out with the Zillies laying down the law for France, and then Brazil coming right back saying, this is not going to be as easy as you guys think it is. It's 1-1. It's going to be Notorious Ike from Brazil versus Lupin G from France. Do you think we're going to see some different decks from Lupin G? Some off-meta crazy decks like he's known for?
Absolutely. That's what he brought to the finals for the European region of CCGS. That's what he brought to the World Finals. We always see something brand new and exciting out of Lupin G. It may not be, something completely new. Maybe he finds an interesting twist on an old favorite, but I definitely expect Lupin G to have something that's a little bit out of the box.
Yeah, I agree. And here we go. Notorious Ike versus Lupin G. Let's see, maybe a barb hut or something. Anything could happen. Anything could happen.
In the first 2 sets, these players were able to turn things around. Azili's lost a semifinals match, won his finals match. Then Nova Goo also lost a semifinals match and won his finals match. But in this next one, Lupin G and Notorious Ike are both on fire already. They both won their semifinals match, so only one of them can get turned around and rebuffed here in the finals.
Let's see what happens. Here's an Inferno Dragon on the left-hand side from Lupin G. Notorious Ike. Ice Golem, Mega Minion, and Tesla down here. Graveyard on the left. I don't know about this graveyard, though, Woody.
It's a super aggressive graveyard. It hasn't gotten any damage in there yet, and with defensive archers, I think you'll be able to pick off the remainder of the skeletons.
This is going to be a Expo versus Graveyard, and there's the Expo from Notorious Ike. As we say, this might connect on the tower. Tombstone down, but how does he defend?
Oh man, this is not good for Lupin G. Ice Golem coming in clutch on the left side, able to block for that Expo, and I think it's gonna take a little longer than Notorious Ike wants for it to get through this Ice Golem at the left side. Might connect for a little bit of damage over here, but Lupin G's confident, happy to just soak a little bit over there. Yeah. He's behind by a couple of elixirs still, though.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, Lupin G needs to figure out a way to get this graveyard connecting. I mean, does he have a big unit? Normally not, but here comes a Lumberjack and a graveyard on the right-hand side. He's going super aggressive.
And he got value out of it for sure. 900 damage already with that hit out the right side. Maybe even a little bit more. But an Expo Mega Minion staring him down. What can he do?
I don't know.
Is he just going to soak the damage?
What does he have here?
He's
Wizard, okay, but this is, oh no, this is not looking good at all for Lupin G.
It's a turnaround there. I don't think this Expo is going to get another hit on tower. We already got the, oh no, hold on! Tombstone goes down by a Lumberjack, just perfectly timed by Lupin G to convince the lock there. I think he really got turned around, though. I think he was expecting Notorious Ike to continue using that Expo at the left side, but, you know, turnabout's fair game. If you're going to switch things up and try to go right lane, you got to expect your opponent to be able to pull the same thing off.
Yeah, there's going to be an Expo that's going to sit in the poison here. Log's going to get a little bit of value on the tower, just a little bit. And this is, can Lupanji get off one more graveyard? And it's turning into SimCity for Notorious Ike right now, though.
Double Teslas. You know, I've always wondered, what's the best way to stack Teslas up if you're trying to hard defend an Expo out there? Apparently, Lupanji's found the way.
Yeah, and I mean, the poison doesn't affect it when they're under the ground, so they just hang out over there. Ooh, can he connect on the tower? This might... Nope. Tombstone coming down. But look at the elixir lead now from Notorious Ike.
It's actually not as much as I would have expected for this point in the match. You got kind of a wasted Tesla out there at the right side. Let's see if he can get value in the next Expo attack here now. Lumberjack soaking the damage, but he needs to get back to that Ice Golem soon. Ah, Log goes down! Oh my god, barely catches an Ice Golem at the back right. Expo about to get another chance at the lock, but the E-Wiz is in the way, and the Fireball misses him. Still, though, damage on tower is just what Notorious Ike is looking for here. He's ahead on damage. He's a little bit behind on elixir at this point, actually. He's going to go with a defensive Expo now.
It's a Lumberjack on the right-hand lane. This is the graveyard. Can Lupanji get enough damage from this graveyard? Archers are going to say no. 208 left, and now he's finally going with the defensive into offensive Expos.
That puts him in the lead damage-wise, though, and an excellent poison on top will catch the Expo, the tower, and the archers. It's a relative reset on the field, though. You see a fireball coming down on Lupanji's right side. They're both around that 700 hit point mark. It's just whoever gets the next big lock will win the game.
Yeah, and right now, I think the faster cycle of Lupanji is just slowly chipping away. I think he can get down another graveyard, because I feel if Notorious Ike Expos like that, yeah, poison cycle is just gonna...
You can't afford to drop defensive Expos like that late in the game like this. He's only got 405 hit points left now. The next Expo has got to win it, or Notorious Ike is out.
100%. Let's see what he can do here. Expo, if it does not connect onto the tower, but it's not going to get there. I think Lupanji is going to be able to take this. I don't think there's any way an Expo connects on the tower.
Defense set up, and not too much on the ground. Lupanji has the perfect timing on that tombstone, but can he get something else to help out here? No. Doesn't need it. He just selects back to one more poison, and he's got the game.
It's over. Wow. That was perfectly played from Lupanji there. And it was all because of that first Lumberjack graveyard that caught Notorious Ike off guard. And it did what? Like 1,200, 1,300 damage right as the game almost started there. And I feel like he never was able to recover because he went on that same side with his Expos, and Lupanji just poison cycled him out. You know, if you look at it, he had what, like 5 poisons on the tower. That adds up to another 1,000 damage. You know, you're only looking at 600 left, and, you know, at the end of that game, just was not able to hold on. Lupanji, though, what do you think? You think Lupanji, was that a hard counter versus Lupanji? A soft counter? What? I don't know.
I would typically give a little bit of an edge to that Expo deck. I think having Archers, Ice Golem, Log, even those defensive Expos were somewhat value against the graveyard. It's hard for Lupanji to be able to connect, but he got an early hit that he needed, you know, switching it around in the first minute to go on that right lane. Notorious Ike just got caught with his pants down, man. There's nothing else to say.
Yeah. I agree. Let's see if he can come back and make a play here. Fireball. Ooh, you have a Fireball versus a Goblin Hunt. Now that hurts. I mean, it's one of those cards where you're like, all right, I wish I have a poison so I can deal with it a little bit more efficiently, you know, because poison does a little bit more damage. Oh, it's a Hog Rider on the left-hand side.
Oh, Ice Spirit catches. That Hog's going to town. 1 hit, 2 hits. Left side down 1805.
Right, this is the counterattack, though. Can he do enough damage? Beautifully played by Notorious Ike, and he's already got the Hog damage off. That's more damage than you really expect a Hog to ever really get versus a building and an E-Wizard. Like this early, a minute 40 left in the game. Fireball comes out, 1604 already left on his tower. He can essentially just, Fireball cycle it out, and if he gets one more connection with the Hog, All he needs is what? One more hog hit, and I think he could win this game, maybe 2. Let's see if he could make this happen here.
He's got a massive damage advantage. He's going to switch lanes, though, now. I think he's worried about double elixir time, really giving Lupanji the edge here with his P.E.K.K.A out the left. But not if he's able to pull off hits like this, man. He's just as far ahead on the right side as he was on the left. The P.E.K.K.A's getting really close, though. Guards in the last second for Notorious Ike to block. A good play here.
Yeah, guards definitely the MVPs of this matchup so far. I mean, that just protected his entire life. But 1307 on the right-hand side. Now the fireballs are starting to get a little bit of damage, but here's the thing. Lupanji's now going to start ramping up, getting his Goblin Huts down faster, getting his Miner cycled. I don't think Notorious Ike is going to be able to pull this one off. If he does, it's going to be really close.
There's a lot of ramp in Lupanji's deck, and I think he's definitely going to excel in double elixir time. It's really up to Notorious Ike to show us his skill in cycling this Hog Rider. I think he might get a hit here. He's getting so close. Yes! He gets another one down to 1139 up the left lane. Lupanji is just taking on the chin one by one. Could be enough if he can find the time to keep these huge P.E.K.K.A strikes off. But Lupanji is really skilled in these control decks. He excels in just being able to drive back these little chippy attacks. Hog Rider's making his way into the Goblin Hut. I don't think he's going to get to the tower, though.
Oh, just does it. Inferno Dragon's still alive.
Oh, an ugly defensive miner from Lupanji, though. Definitely not what you want to see here.
I think this might be
Hog's
it.
getting close.
I think it's over. I think this is going to connect on the tower. Beautiful fireball. Doesn't even care about the tower. That's me 2 hog hits.
Wow. Gets the damage in there. Lupanji just out of cycle and way behind on elixir. Notorious Ike is outpacing him in pretty much every conceivable way. Oh, a really nice P.E.K.K.A connect, though. Lupanji has bought himself some time here with a great defense up the left.
Yeah, beautiful zap there. If he didn't zap, that Hog Rider would have definitely hit on the tower. And this Inferno Dragon has been a problem the entire game, though. Now without your zap, the P.E.K.K.A just kind of evaporates, you know? You never want to lose your P.E.K.K.A to an Inferno Dragon just from the heat up. Miner from Lupanji, he's just not getting enough damage with these connections. 581 is the magic number for Notorious Ike right now.
Yeah, it's, I mean, 3 more fireballs, and, you know, just a little tiny bit of zapper log on top to get the win here. He could go for another Hog Rider hit, but if he's able to fireball Goblin Huts, that's value right there. I don't see why he wouldn't do that.
Miner coming in on the back left-hand side from Lupanji. Notorious Ike. A little bit of value here. Poison on the left-hand side. There goes the Inferno Dragon. Lupanji's coming back strong, though.
It's
got to get another hog to connect, and I don't think he does it. How is he going to get past the P.E.K.K.A and this Goblin Hut, Woody?
I think he's going to be able to burn up this E-Wiz. Lupanji is out of rotation again. He's not going to have as many goblins as he wants for the counterattack. Alargo's through the hut. The Hog Rider's going straight to the left side, but another hut goes down. Lupanji's going to repel this attack.
Fireball?
I don't know. He might have.
Oh, he did it! Wow!
This is good. Fireball for the victory. This is heating up now in chat. A 1-1 draw between Lupanji and Notorious Ike.
Wow. And things just got super interesting. Notorious Ike getting the victory. Now we're 1-1. We're dead even here, Woody. We are dead even. Each team has won 4 games. And it's tied 1-1 in the 3rd set. Whoo! Notorious Ike Lupanji. I mean, I kind of expected it to go a little bit more like this, you know, a back and forth. Kind of the first 2 sets, I feel like that's an anomaly. It's not going to really happen again. I don't think we're going to see another 3-0 sweep, you know. I think as these teams, you know, start talking, you know, to their teammates, you know, they're all on a call together, all talking about strategy and everything like that. The coaches are saying, listen, this is what this guy likes to play. This is what this guy likes to play. There's no real momentum for either team yet, you know. There's no, you know, big streak. You see 2-0, 3-0, you know, as far as match points are concerned. I think this is where it kind of, you know, settles in, you know, kind of like baseball, you know, where you have the pitcher who kind of gets off to a slow start, you know, but then like kind of settles in through the mid game. I think that's what's about to happen here for the next like 3 sets. I think we're going to see a lot of 3-2s.
Yeah, each team gets an inning, right? They each get an at-bat, a chance to strike. A little bit of of an aggressive start from both these teams, going on 3-0 streaks right at the beginning. But I think you're right. We're much more likely to see these games go back and forth from here on out. Lupanji, with the clever defense here, is going to keep up the pressure with Spear Goblins over on the right side. And this is something that Notorious Ike is not too happy about in the first couple of minutes. He's probably going to be behind when we get to that double elixir time, but that's when this big giant deck is really going to start ramping up to great effect. He's going to apply pressure here with a giant out in front of this Night Witch, but I think that Lupanji is able to burn through these attacks without too much difficulty. The push is just not big enough yet to threaten Lupanji in the first couple of minutes.
Yeah, not at all. Inferno Dragon on the right-hand side. It's always scary when an Inferno Dragon, you know, just starts walking to your tower. It's like you have to throw something. You know, you have to waste elixir, and hopefully you have, you know, a cheap unit like minions or something like that. You never really want to drop like a giant or a P.E.K.K.A. or anything really, really hefty. But Notorious Ike looking like he has the answers with the Ice Spirit, the minions, and the Night Witch. But Lupanji, though, is running... Mega Knight is his last card. So...
A little bit of miners trading damage here. I think it goes in Lupanji's favor, though. Notorious Ike is a little bit further down, and so, you know, if both players get a little bit of damage, it's in the favor of whoever was ahead, you know, when that damage started off. Lupanji was ahead in the damage race here, and it looks like he'll hold on to it with a little bit more. Zap goes down.
Oh no! I don't know how Notorious Ike stops this on this left-hand side.
You know, he can afford to take a little bit of damage, but the scary thing about that Inferno Dragon is that a little bit of damage turns into a massive amount very quickly. Tower could be under a lot of pressure. I mean, he stopped the left side push, but his right side's dead now.
Yeah, I mean, he just didn't have enough. I mean, the miner came out the moment he played something on the left-hand side to stop that Mega Knight and Inferno Dragon, because like you said, that Inferno Dragon can take your tower in 5 seconds, 6 seconds. And this is a last-ditch effort right here. This minion horde is it. Can he connect?
No.
Nope. It's over.
Damage with those swings.
Lupanji going up 2-1 in the third set. Not bad. Not bad. Lupanji up 1-0 on Notorious Ike. Mega Knight. I love that deck. That's personally my favorite deck right now in the meta, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I hate playing against it, and I raged about 100 times before I was like, I'm just gonna play this deck every game. But I play it with Royal Ghost actually instead of the Skeleton Barrel.
Ah, okay.
I don't go full bait. You know.
You never go full bait.
You know, I at least. You know, so when people play versus me, it's not like I have the Skeleton Barrel as well, so they don't hate on me too much. You know, I kind of just I ease the pain a little bit as I beat them.
You know, if things don't go well with this Tommy Tomatoes girl that you're trying to hook up with, you might have to go full bait, Chad. I'm sorry to say, man.
Hey, listen, you know, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Tommy Tomatoes.
Take matters into your own hands, am I right?
Yeah, exactly, man. Tommy Tomatoes. Man. Tommy Tomatoes.
What was the story with her? Did you finish out that saga?
Oh no, the saga's continuing. I got a double date with her Thursday. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
But I found out. Okay, so my friend set this up, and you know I took care of it, and then I find out she's from the Bronx, which is about 2 bridges away and like an hour and a half, and I'm just like, nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So whatever. Electro Wizard on the left-hand side. Ice Golem coming down. Miner coming out on the right. And just getting a little bit chipped off here from Lupanji. Not too bad. Not too bad.
And the farther away she is, the you know, how she's got to be to justify that sort of drive, or you know, I guess riding on the subway if you're in New York.
But that's how I have to get there, man.
Oh,
it's rough.
Brutal.
Well, Expo down on the right-hand side from Notorious Ike. Lower the game button. All right, just a little bit. All right. Mega Man coming down on the right-hand side. I love how it has, like, these really, really small wings and, like, small legs, but it has, like, these huge arms. It's like you're looking at, like, a bodybuilder, you know, at the beach, who's got, like, this really big upper body, and then, like, he's got, like, those skinny, like, chicken legs, you know?
You skipped leg day.
What?
Come on, Mega Man, you don't skip leg day. I like the placement of this defensive expo, though. He's trying to keep it out of poison range from Lupanji, denying a little bit more of that value. He's not able to pull the P.E.K.K.A over, though, and that might be a really scary setup for Notorious Ike. No, turns out it's going to be another wash.
Another wash here. Mega Man on the right-hand side. Gonna do a little bit of damage to the right side tower. 2 swings. Expo coming down on the left now, trying to change it up. But that P.E.K.K.A is just right in front of his face. Oof.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's what, 6 plus, that's 10 elixir for 7 right there. 11
Quick
elixir
maths.
for 7. Wow. 13 elixir just to stop that P.E.K.K.A. That's a hefty amount of elixir right there. And the Mega Minion not gonna be able to connect here. Miner gonna come in here, getting a little bit of value on the Expo.
Not happening with this Expo deck. There's too much on Lupanji's side of the field, especially in double elixir time, to buy this connection. You know, he's getting a little archer chip here and there, but Lupanji's not even going full on this Expo stop. He's just kind of actually not really applying as much pressure as he probably should. Notorious Ike goes hard defending this Expo at the left and buys himself a connection. Very well played right here. He's still behind in damage overall, and Lupanji will continue sieging that right lane. But definitely, he just closed the gap there by a significant margin.
Yeah, I think he just needs to... Oh, here comes a huge push on the right-hand side. Mega Minion and Miner log as well. Is it going to connect on the tower? No. Now he's applying that pressure that you were talking about earlier. He was letting Notorious Ike control the entire game, and now he's going to get down the P.E.K.K.A. This is a big play from Lupanji. All he's got to do is stop these double Teslas, though. This is going to make quick work of this P.E.K.K.A.
Will zaps it down. I don't even know if it's going to get a single swing off. Log rolls through, and Notorious Ike is in a pretty good position here. He's going to lose that Expo, but it's a relative reset, and he's ahead in Elixir. Can he make any use out of this Tesla out the left side? He's going to try to get into Expo down. It's going to be a long time before it locks, though. Goblin Hunt in the way, and a bad catch! Miner out the back, cannot be stopped. Right side tower gets taken out of 3 inches, and that's within range. That's a couple more points.
Coming out on the left-hand side. The Expo's going to connect that tower, and this is it, though. It's going to be 2-2.
What happened, man?
Oh, wow. I just think Lupanji got in a situation where he stopped using his P.E.K.K.A. Like, you saw how that P.E.K.K.A... He had to use 13 elixir to stop a P.E.K.K.A. And then I think Lupanji went maybe a little too aggressive, wasn't able to cycle back to his P.E.K.K.A. for the next Expo, and he got caught in a situation where he wasn't able to apply that pressure that you were talking about over and over again. He was able to do it once, but then he got completely out of cycle, and then the Expo connected on the tower, and all it takes is one Expo to connect on the tower. I think everybody who's played Clash Royale knows once an Expo connects on your tower and you don't really have enough to stop it, it's only a matter of time. But I'm just surprised Lupanji let it get to that point. I mean, he had the Electro Wizard and the Zap for resets, P.E.K.K.A. and Goblin Hut. I think that was just beautifully played by Notorious Ike. I think we just got to give that. I think we just got to give a thumbs up to Notorious Ike there, and well played, well played, well played.
Nicely done. That's the win condition for these Expo decks. You play consistently the whole game, waiting for your opponent to make one tiny error. The lock is a terrible thing to behold when you're facing down an Expo. You know, oftentimes if you've got a big tank like P.E.K.K.A, you can keep that thing off. But even with Zap and Electro Wizard, Lupanji was not able to force the reset out that left lane. I think he might have overcommitted on that Miner attack out the right. He got the tower down, you know, within striking distance, but just couldn't finish it off. And it'll be a 2-2 draw now. Who's going to take the final game of this set, Enchanted?
Ooh, the final game of the set. This is so tough, man. I'm only going to say Lupanji because I met him in person. He's a super nice guy. And I can be biased because I've met him in person. So I'm going to say Lupanji. And I would not be surprised if Notorious Ike wins. But, you know, when you meet somebody in person, you know, you can kind of root for him a little bit, you know, because you kind of met him face to face, you know what he's about, you know, because kind of when you don't like know people, you don't really know what he is, you know what I mean? But Lupanji, super nice guy. Like you met him too in the EU, super nice guy. He's kind of reserved. I root for this guy, but Notorious Ike could take the game. This is the highest level of competitive Clash Royale that you can get right now. I mean, just look at France's lineup. Just look at Brazil's lineup. Like, just stacked with CCGS players. Timeout's going to happen here. This is going to be a 90-second timeout. You have 3 timeouts in the match of MGL Worlds. Pretty much it's just so that if a team is struggling a little bit, or, you know, in any kind of sport, you time out, you take a little deep breath, you converge with your team, get the right deck here. Because would you say that a 1-1 match 3 is super important? Because it kind of will turn the tide of how the match goes, you know, being up 2-1 instead of 1-1?
Oh, absolutely. Unquestionably. You know, when there's a tied situation, whichever team is able to take the advantage, you know, especially later in the match here, it would be more important. But just being able to pull ahead is so important for the, you know, the moral victory, the sense of being on the right side here. You want to feel like you're ahead the whole time. I don't think either of these teams likes feeling like they're the underdog. So getting the win in this 3rd set to pull ahead will be a huge victory for either of these guys. I know that they're both really struggling for it, but I think it's Lupanji's game to lose. I agree with your assessment here. Notorious Ike has had some great upsets here, but I'd say in general, Lupanji's been playing a bit more consistently. And the shorter the game is, also, I think the more likely Notorious Ike is to win it. Lupanji plays very well deep. I think that last game was kind of an aberration, not something that we typically see from Lupanji. He plays really well deep into these matches, so I think he's also really likely to bring another control deck in here. Lupanji has not really shown us very much in the way of, you know, new and exciting decks this match. You know, compared to what we've seen in the past from him, we've seen, you know, Mega Knight control, P.E.K.K.A control, just big, heavy, slow decks that try to take advantage of Notorious Ike's maybe more aggressive tendencies.
Oh my god! Just like you said, if Notorious Ike wants to win this game, he's gonna have to win it early. And 8:20 left on that right-hand side, Woody. I think he's doing exactly what you're saying. I think he heard you. I think he's like, I'm going to make sure I connect early and strike fast. And 1:14 left, about to be double elixir time. This is minor cycle and defend, right? Is that what you would do right now if you're Notorious Ike?
Absolutely. And the bad thing for Lupanji is that he can't really force a tower push. With a control deck like this, he relies on chip damage, just kind of coming in steady, not really ever getting one big push at all. I mean, he's got 3 more cards. He might be able to surprise us somehow, but the damage has been really heavy from Notorious Ike in the first 2 minutes. It's exactly what he needed, and I think he'll be able to hold off the defense on this left lane, just applying a little bit more pressure out the right. He only needs 2 fireballs to knock the tower down.
Whoa!
What the hell?
What? What just happened?
That big dude's got a cannon in chat.
What is this troop on the right-hand side, Woody?
He's got orange hair, and he's a big, beautiful monster. Lupanji has brought back the royal.
Oh my goodness! No. He stopped this. Oh, bro. I don't think it's going to be enough, but no, wow, look, this thing is not moving.
When you're up against so many opponents that are running Zappy type of, you know, defenses, Electro Wizard, Zappy, it makes complete sense to run a big, heavy dude. I think it was the right, you know, idea here, but Royal Giants is an underpowered card, and Lupanji couldn't get enough value out of it. His attacks were split up the whole game with the goblins running down the left lane, trying to counter out the right, just couldn't work for him that late. Well done to Notorious Ike. Takes the series 3-2 over the CCGS European champion Lupanji.
Wow. You want to know what, though, Woody? I think if that balloon didn't connect on the tower, Lupanji may have won that game. That one balloon connection that you said he had to get the damage off early and he had to win it early. and I think that's exactly what happened. I think the early balloon connection was the turning point of that game. And if I'm Lupanji right now, running Royal Giant, you got to give him credit. Like you can't. How do you run Royal Giant, man?
I don't know.
Do you think it will ever be viable again in competitive play?
Not unless it gets a buff. You know, it can do decently well against Expo decks, but there's just not that many of them out there to justify playing the RG. I think that Lupanji might have expected Notorious Ike to run another Expo deck, and that's kind of the only hope he has in getting value out of this Royal Giant. Didn't turn out to be in his favor this time. I mean, it's a win for Brazil. It's on the board. They got a 2-1 advantage now.
2-1 advantage. 2-1 advantage. Whoa, here we go. Surgical TS versus Doberman.
Surgical TS, the second most famous surgical player in the world.
Oh, wow. The shots. But it's true. I mean, Surgical Gomez made a huge name for himself. You know, in 2017. Let's see what 2018 has to bring. Kranis, thank you so much for the sub, man. Much appreciated. Ah, man. Yeah, here comes a log on the right-hand side. Knight and Executioner. Are we going to see a Miner or a Hog from Surgical CS?
I think we're going to see... Oh, well, there's the answer. Miner coming in over on the left side for Doberman. Chipping away at the tower. Unsupported, but Surgical TS just looking for that little tiny bit here and there. And it's actually quite a bit of damage if it's ignored. The Miner dealing almost as much as a rocket nowadays for half the cost.
I think it actually might do more than a rocket.
More than a rocket, yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. Here comes the balloon on the left-hand lane. This is... Ooh, okay, he had a tornado of his own. Doberman making good plays here. All right. This is kind of the slow start, you know, kind of more of what we expect in this meta. Just slow chip, get a little bit of damage here, get a little bit of damage there. Going for the Goblin Hub this time, though, instead of minering the tower. It's one of those situations where players really dislike the Goblin Hub. And look at how many players are watching all these matches. At least like 100 live spectators every game. That's crazy.
And hundreds more watching on our affiliate channels. We know that we've got French and Brazilian casters working hard right now over for their communities. Thank you very much, guys. MGL Worlds is made possible because of so many people streaming the event and showing their love for the game.
Yeah, we have 9 different languages right now going on. Yeah. France, we have Chinese, Vietnamese, German, Arabic, Spanish, Brazilian, English. I think there might be one. Yeah, no, it's a ton. There's actually like 10,000 people in the French team. They're going crazy. Alright, Ice Golem on the right-hand side. Ooh. You know, that does so much damage. If it connects to your tower, it does 70 plus the death damage. I mean, that's 140 damage for Frosty the Snowman, you know. I know a lot of people leave that thing untouched, but it does a ton. And look at this. It looks like Doberman. Surgical TS just does not have the answer for this very good.
Wow. Doberman crushes him right at the nick of overtime, right at the beginning of it. Finishing him off. That was an absolute smashing by Doberman. Very well played there. I don't think Surgical TS had much of a chance to get any damage in. We saw Doberman play at ESWC Paris Games Week as well. Was he a semifinalist? Or maybe 5th or 6th
He actually
place?
was a finalist versus Surgical Goblin. Yes, and Surgical Goblin took him out in the final. So Doberman, no slouch here. One of the best upcoming French players for a while now. He's been around for about like 5 months now, really pressing the scene, giving Lupanji a little bit of a run for his money as the best in France. I'm excited to see some more things coming out from Lupanji. All right, Doberman. Can he bring it back for France. Currently 2-1 in Brazil's favor. After Notorious Ike took down Lupanji. Ruskov. Ruskov is actually one of the really good French players as well. I think he's actually on the bench, so he is going to be subbed in for somebody. Maybe. I mean, we met actually Ruskov in Paris Games Week as well. He told me he is going to be in the next CCGS next year. It was a bold statement by him.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, it's one of those situations where if you are a player who's very good at the game and wants to be professional or anything like that, I feel like you have to have that mindset. You know what I mean? You can't be like, you know, I think I might make it to the CCGS. I don't know. You know, I think a lot of these players, they have very big egos, I guess you can say. And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, but I think it's more of the fact that they put themselves in the mindset of, you know, being the best. You know, because I feel like you need to have that little element. Because if you look at the best players in all of sports, you could say that like 90% of them have like the biggest egos, right? I would say that's a fair assessment.
I agree with that. By and large, Clash Royale esports players are very, you know, headstrong. They think they've got some of the skills to you know, demonstrate that they are the best. You know, there's exceptions here and there. I think Lupanji actually is one of those exceptions. He's very, you know, laid back, and you know, even though he's one of the best players in the world, he tends to you know, not brag about it a whole lot. But you know, there's a lot of guys, you know, out on Twitter and, you know, in clan chat that are happy to brag and tell you that they're the best in the world, and to put up the work to convince you that they're right. Look how much confetti's on the Surgical side of the map, though. I think we've got a lot of Brazilian fans watching here today.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, Surgical TS is coming back here. I mean, the French side, I mean, Doberman needs to get his crew in here to start hitting some. I'm going to give him some confetti. I feel a little better right now. Jeez, there's a lot of red on the field. I mean, my confetti helped a little bit. He's still got like one little thing left. Oh my goodness. The red carpet for Surgical TS right now. How do you feel about confetti in the game?
I think it's funny. It's goofy. It's cute. I don't have a strong opinion about it one way or the other.
The log chip here, and this is kind of just like that slow game over. One more push log will do it.
Doberman gets his King Tower activated, but way late in the game. 274 left on that right side. Does that die to Poison Log? I think it's a little bit short. Or no, Poison Log should be able to kill
it does it.
Yeah. What am I thinking? I got tilted though because I lost the game in that YouTuber challenge when my Poison just barely left the tower alive, and it was because of that recent spell damage nerf. So I'm overly cautious now about Poison.
Well, not gonna be enough, and there's the minor to end the game. One more log does it. GG, Circle TS 1-1. This is not gonna be easy for anything. Not gonna be easy for anybody. Oof, Poison.
Hey Chen, what do you think about confetti? You asked me, so maybe you have an opinion on this subject.
Do I have an opinion on confetti? I think, I think it's a little ridiculous.
Yeah,
you know? Just a little ridiculous. And I think it needs to be capped at like 3 or 4 at one time. You know, I don't think you should be having hundreds of people throw confetti at you. You know, back to back to back to back to back. Because then you get that situation where if you're Doberman, you're like, damn, like this guy. Who is this guy? You know?
Fair enough. I guess there's something to that. You know, in the same way that you can turn off emotes, I think it might be helpful if there were a way to turn off confetti. Because especially on older devices, confetti can actually really slow down your game. I don't think it's probably not going to be a problem in these matches, but, you know, if you've got an old phone, it might impact you negatively if there's 1,000 people cheering for your opponent. Slow you down, distract you, whatever. I think that any little tiny advantage that you can give to someone who has got a lot of people watching them. It's not the worst thing in the world, though. I think it's fine that there's a crowd element to the game.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's definitely good that there's a crowd element to the game, you know. But this confetti is insane right now. Zappy's on the left-hand lane, gonna do a little bit of work. Does he have any answer for the balloon and the miner on the left-hand side? He played the hunter on the right. He might not have anything for the balloon. What he? Tornado? No. Okay.
He's just going hard right. He's
you
gonna
got
take
to.
that
I mean,
left
what
side
other choice
down.
you had? Oh no.
It's over. Doberman can't turn this thing around, man. It's finished. Oh, hold on. He loses the E-Wiz. Right side does take one hit, but I think he needed a lot more than that to justify dropping an entire tower.
Yeah, the tower got completely annihilated here, and the miner's gonna get a little bit of chip, but it's not enough. I mean, he's in critical condition right now. He's bleeding out.
Resubscription confirmed.
How did the Hunter get that much damage off?
Thanks.
Hunter and Miner combo, bringing it down to 400. Pretty good hit, but take a look at Doberman's King Tower, though. I think that you can't forget that. Even though it looks like it's a 1-1 situation right here, Doberman's King being down at 1308 now, I think really gives Surgical a lot of options in terms of either going for the 2 crown or going straight for the King.
I absolutely agree. Doberman with a Ice Bomb on the left-hand lane here, just trying to protect this King Tower, like you said. I mean, Surgical's going to give up that right side. 1308. Can he get that down before Doberman takes his left-hand side tower? And I think that's going to be the story of the game. But no, he's going with the balloon on the right-hand side with the miner. How do you stop the Mega Man? I just don't think you do. Interesting. Do you agree with that? Just leaving the King Tower be?
Yeah, I think that was a fine decision. Looks like Doberman's going to take a little bit of damage off the right side. The unfortunate thing, though, is that his counterattack is not going to be focused where he wants it to be. That Mega Knight wandering down the right lane is kind of wasted here. He needs to get that balloon to strike the left lane tower, and with so much zapping going on, I don't think that's going to happen.
No, Mega
5 zap beams between those 3 Sparkies. Or mini Sparkies, the Zappies.
Oh!
And the elixir. A crushing blow from the Mega Knight, though. Can he get a swing on this left side tower? If the miner comes down, I think he'll have just enough firepower to keep this guy out.
The Wizard and Miner going to do a little bit of defense here. Hunter on the left-hand lane. Here comes the balloon on the right. I think this is it. Oh, no, somehow. Oh, the Zappies, though.
Mega Minion was played just perfectly. I think he got exactly what he needed here.
Oh!
Did he get a little bit more damage?
Oh, my! No way! What a zap retargeted hit them. Oh, it's over.
Bad Mega Knight to follow up the fireball. Clenches it. Surgical TS for the win.
Wow, and it is over. Surgical TS taking the victory. Clash with Ash with the sub. Thank you so much, my man. How's it going? Woo! Portuguese stream has 17,000 viewers. That's a lot. What's up, Ash?
Yeah.
How's it going, my man? Oh, wow. That's insane. Doberman taking the loss versus Surgical TS, and now France is so let's put I'm going to put you into France's perspective, right? You're France now.
Okay.
2-1 in this 4th set.
Sacre bleu.
You're down. What are you telling Doberman right now? Not to get a little nerves, you know what I mean? Because I feel like a little nerves might come in, because if he loses this, 3-1's a big deal, you know? 3-1 is a lot different than 2-2. It's like, you know, it's insane.
Yeah. I mean, 2-1, not a good situation, obviously, in the match score overall. But if you're France, if you get the win here, you can tie it up again. If you're down 3-1 in the match score, that is a huge mountain that you'd have to climb at that point. France would really be struggling if they lose this next game. Doberman cannot play any fancy decks. He's got to play some ABC Clash Royale, something very standard. You know, maybe add a tiny little bit of a twist to it, but you can't be experimenting at all here. You can't play a risky deck. I think that we're likely to see something like Mega Knight, Bait, maybe just something, you know, very standard like, a P.E.K.K.A control deck. I'm not really exactly sure what Doberman's specialty is, but whatever he's comfortable with is what he's got to be playing here. He cannot try out anything new.
No, I totally agree. I think you got to play it kind of full meta. You know what I mean? I think what you're trying to say is you got to play the meta right now, and you got to just go with what you know. ABC style, you know, bread and go to bread and butter. Hopefully try to take a game here and make it 2-2, because you got to take it one game at a time as well. You can't be looking at, all right, I'm down 2-1, you know, I'm in trouble. You got to just take it as it's still 0-0. Let me just get this first victory, bring it back to a point where I could, you know, stabilize, you know. Right now, Doberman, I think he's going to be coming out with a minor chip or bait, I think, is going to be his two options here. Which one would you think? If you had to choose between minor chip, or a bait style deck, which one would you go with?
I expect to see bait.
Bait? I agree. I think it's going to be Mega Knight bait with Skeleton Bone. And a minor. That's what I think. Let's see what it is. Doberman throwing down a Goblin Hut.
That could be bait. You know, it's not out of the realm of possibilities. We've seen Goblin Hut in bait decks before. Poison coming down, though, makes me think it's more likely just a more classic control deck, though. He could still be running Miner here. The defensive Expo, kind of a strange, very cautious play by Surgical TS. He takes a little bit of damage out the right lane.
The thing is I think Surgical TS was expecting the bait, throwing out the Expo deck. You know, Expo does very well versus bait, and I think he was thinking the same exact thing that we were. You know what I mean? Doberman's probably going to go standard bait style, but it looks like he's actually going with minor chip on this right-hand side. Here comes the Royal Ghost on the right. Mega Knight coming down as well. So it looks like Doberman went with a standard minor chip instead of the bait minor chip, you know?
Mega Knight wallops that right side Expo down. Do you think that Doberman is going to be better off in the first half of this game, or will he be better off once we get to double elixir time?
I feel like he's not going to be able to keep up with the cycle of Surgical TS and double elixir time. With the quick cycle.
When I play Expo, though, I'm always so terrified of running up against heavy ground-based decks. Seeing a Royal Ghost, Mega Knight, even the Miner can cause a little bit of trouble if it's played right on top of that Expo.
Yeah, I think the thing that might save Doberman here is the fact that he's got a Goblin Hut as well. That thing is going to protect him from a lot of Expos that can potentially just lock onto your tower. I think that might be a saving grace because it gives him an extra, like, 2 seconds, you know, an extra 2 seconds of time. I think we're going to see a Goblin Hut on the field every single time it's in cycle. Another one's got to be down, right? You agree with that? You're the Expo master yourself. Is that one of the troops in the game that you just hate seeing?
Yeah, it's a great ramp card, and it's the source of damage that Doberman's been looking for. He just goes for chip here and there, a little bit of a minor strike, you know, a spear here and there. It's not really a great defense against the Expo, but the pressure that it generates is what's going to prevent Surgical from being able to get those strikes that he's looking for. And with that right side tower down at 1355, Doberman isn't quite within spell cycle range of a win, but just a little bit more out the right lane, and he'll be looking good. Surgical's trying to switch it up by playing that Expo out the left, but he's just facing so much of a ground attack. And with a Royal Ghost connecting, sad man, that game is over.
GG, well played. I really like the fact that Doberman went with minor chip, no bait, and I think that really helped him out there. And Surgical TS was expecting the bait. You know what I mean? He was expecting exactly what you were. You're gonna run bait versus me. I'm gonna take out the Expo, kill your little spear goblins, your bats. That's no problem with me. But like you said, when you're playing an Expo and you have to deal with Boom Shakalaka Mega Knight, Royal Ghost, Miner, Goblin Hut, you know, there's too much ground for you to deal with. Doberman going to get the victory. It's going to be 2-2. They're fighting for $2,000 for the first place prize. Who is going to come home with it? France or Brazil? Right now, France is going to need Doberman to clutch up. That's just bottom line. Doberman needs to clutch up in this match.
I think he's got a chance of it, too. Surgical played very cautiously that last game. And I think it cost him at the very beginning, even dropping an Expo to try to take down this Goblin Hut. Just on face, that's a -1 elixir trade. And with poison spells, fireballs being thrown at him, immediately after that, you can't expect to play defense and win in CR World Finals.
No, not at all. Doberman, Surgical TS, Game 5. This could be the biggest match. This is definitely the biggest match so far. The biggest game so far in this match. This could turn the tide of everything. Because if Surgical TS wins, huge boost to Brazil. If France wins, huge morale boost to them. And I think that this game alone could change the entire outcome of how this match goes. And ooh, Miner gonna be in front of that. Oh no!
I was almost ready to say that Doberman had started off really well. He got a nice few little interactions in there, but ultimate value from this Executioner as the Tornado pulls that Miner onto the King. A great catch here, and I think that Doberman has really got the pressure up against him now.
Yeah, I think Doberman has all the answers. The Knight counters the Royal Ghost. The Tornado counters the Miner. The Executioner counters nothing, but it's there. But then he's got the poison. But the bottom line is this. The two cards that you need to deal with are a Miner and a Royal Ghost, and Surgical TS has the answer to both of those.
Yeah, Executioner is not a perfect counter. There's no, bait coming up against him, but he's working pretty well against these Goblin Huts. He's able to swing out to the Mega Minion. He's not a perfect card in Surgical's deck, but he's definitely not a dead card.
Here comes a Miner on the back end. Oh, that's gonna... Oh, the Mega Knight doesn't come back. But here comes a huge push from Doberman. Mega Knight on the right-hand side with a Mega Minion. Is this gonna connect onto the tower? No, and the Executioner gonna take care of business. When troops are lined up, it's like Bon Appetit for the Executioner. Look at him. He just looks like he's hungry, about to go eat, right? Like he pops up and down.
I got my chapstick ready for the stream. I know we're going to be streaming a lot here today, so I thought I'd be nice and hydrated and stay moisturized. I didn't get the Mama's Meatballs, though.
Oh, no Mama's Meatballs? Oh, man, I know. Those would have been... that would have been too much value. But yeah, no, I gotta, now that you mentioned, I gotta get my chapstick, man. You guys don't understand. When you cast for as long as we do, your mouth and throat gets so dry that you need the chapstick up 24/7 when you're doing it. Especially you got a girlfriend too. She's probably not all about that chap lip life either. I'm getting a lot of damage on the right-hand side here for Doberman, but I just don't see him coming back here. Oof.
Yeah, you don't want your mouth to dry up when you're working this hard for this long. You need to make it worth something here.
Yeah, you put in the time, man. Can't be losing it because of a dry mouth.
No. That's just poor preparation. Swipes down this Executioner, barely surviving. The Royal Ghost needed that Ice Spirit to be able to hold on, but Doberman's still in a lot of trouble. Right side down to 575. He is within that spell cycle range now. Surgical TS just needs to play clever defense and keep these big pushes off. I think if he holds off right here, he'll be fine for the rest of the game. It's a big push coming at him, but a Tornado pulls back that Mega Knight. Ice Spirit buys a little bit more time, and he's got what he needs. Another Knight to defend. Mega Knight's going absolutely nowhere, and Surgical's on the counterattack once again. Miner connects to the right side tower, bringing it down to 383. Poison stacked on top, and he doesn't have much further to go here. Executioner swipes away the remaining counterattack troops, and I think Surgical has got this in the bag.
Yeah, he's just going to cycle really bad, and there it is. Oh, Miner!
Oh.
No. Did not connect there.
No good.
GG, and just like that, Brazil up 3-1. Oh, man. France has got to call Blazer, and Blazer needs to have the game of his life. Let me just check when. Just give you a little teaser of who he's going up against. 52 in the world currently right now. 65, 56 trophies. If you're Whoa, he's going right into it. If you're Blazer, do you even check out when?
Right now, Wen's playing.
He didn't tilt on ladder, man.
Yeah.
Listen, if you're this high this late, which means you did not tilt in ladder, which means you're playing absolutely phenomenal right now, right? I expect Wen to man, can Blazer bring it back for France? I want to see it. I want to see it happen. Flying Machine gonna take down this Goblin on here. Ice Wizard on the right-hand side with an Ice Golem. Very frosty right-hand push. Gonna get a Spear Goblin out as well. But the Ghost. I am the darkness in the night. This might be the slowest attack animation I've ever seen in my entire life. Right? Better Ram on the left-hand side. It's going to connect.
Ice Golem isn't going to work. He's in the tornado. Bit of an awkward defense there for Blazer.
I mean, I was going to say he had to cycle back to what, though? I mean, he had the tornado and cycle.
Wen definitely got the better edge of that exchange.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Wen versus Blazer. Can Blazer bring it back for France? That's the question. The Brazilians are going hard for every single player. Did they all like give out their friend link or their Facebook or something for this? Here comes the A.
They all know each other.
That's true. That's a good point. Better him on the left-hand side.
Log knocks back. Blazer's having to take a little bit of damage at the left side. He knows that the Barbarians are going to be able to chop through that Ice Golem. Oh, no, actually, maybe not. They're wandering real far off there.
Well, that's a lot of damage on the right-hand side. And a poison coming down. Wen looking strong. Here comes the Graveyard. Ooh. You think it's going to do enough, Woody?
That's a lot of damage at the right side. The biggest hit that Blazer's got yet. He hasn't really equalized here, but I think that he might be slightly favored in double elixir time. He's stacking up with a lot of Goblin Heads down the right lane, and I don't really expect P.E.K.K.A to get that much value over here. It's going to put a big body on the field for Wen's other troops to get some damage in here, but she's going to be really highly distracted by so many Goblins. And the Skeletons from this graveyard are not going to be a good target for her either. Great poison from Blazer, able to take out the Flying Machine and give a little bit of support to this graveyard spell. It is chipping onto the tower on the right side, and that means a damage lead now for Blazer. He started to finally turn things around.
Yeah, P.E.K.K.A is going to fall here, and the Ice, which is going to be good defense. Ice Golem as well, 991. Ooh, she's getting the huts down, though.
Ice Wizard barely stays out of that poison for the first few volleys. He does fall eventually. And Wen regains that damage lead, but this push is not going to be able to connect. Battle Ram is just not enough when you've got that many Spear Goblins stacked up against you. I feel like Blazer's going to be able to hold on here pretty easily. Ice Golem to distract. Okay. That's a lot of damage from the Goblins. Great timing on that poison spell. Prevents them from stacking up too hard here. And Wen will push a little bit further with that damage lead, but time is not on his side. He really needs to keep these attacks off. Graveyard coming in the back is going to chip away a little bit more, but no tank out in front means that Blazer is a little bit flat-footed with it. He's going to get a lot more damage.
Yeah, Ice Golem on the right-hand side is going to protect that. Mega Mini coming out on the right. Rogue Ghost is going to die, and this might be it. Blazer with the Graveyard Poison on the right-hand side. There's a defensive poison now. He just chooses to log. All he needs is one more skeleton chip, and there it is. He's got to deal with the Royal Ghost, though. And it's over. Just like that, Blazer's going to take out the game. I think you may have cut out on your mic. Just talk again?
Oh, no, I didn't cut out. I was letting you finish that one off, man. Wen was in a lot of trouble the second that Graveyard popped down. With the poison stacked on top of it, you knew that there was no way that he could pull that victory out. Did a lot of work early on, but Blazer, with the advantage in double elixir time, applied a ton of pressure. I think that Wen was a little bit too aggressive and, you know, just kept dumping troops at the bridge there. Kind of turned this control deck into a quasi-bridge spam deck with so many battle rams straight up going directly for the tower. Never able to build up that big push that he was looking for with the P.E.K.K.A because there was so much swarm on Blazer's side to be able to knock that big Mama P.E.K.K.A down.
Yeah, here it is. Wen versus Blazer. Who, baby? Wen, Blazer. Can Blazer bring it back for France? I mean, as a caster, I'm rooting for France right now until it gets tied up, because nothing is better than seeing a game 9, right? A match 9 as a caster, right? I think that's the pinnacle of every tournament. Needs to be the highest suspense moment, and that is a set 9. So hopefully France, you know, comes back a little bit here, makes it a little interesting. And 3-2 is a good way to do that. Then they got Tom Jettister versus Renan Kava. I mean, just look at these players for both teams, like stacked lineups the entire way. The entire way. Ooh, looks like a Expo cycle from Wen, I'm feeling here.
Yeah, yep. Either Expo or Graveyard. Expo is the weapon of choice. Wen's going to soak a poison out the right, but I think that the lane swap here was a good call by him. He's going to get through this Ice Golem. Will he lock the Princess? That's not too good for Blazer. If she goes down, yeah, just barely, but a little more chip damage up the right side. Wen got a good exchange there. He's ahead in Elixir and ahead in damage now, with the opportunity to initiate out the right lane, since it's an Ice Golem.
Yeah, Ice Golem just walking on the right-hand side. Zappy's coming out on the left, and I think Wen just has the answer here. I mean, Expo just does so well versus Bait. And I feel that it's only a matter of time, unless Blazer can come in maybe with a Trick Barrel. I'm trying to figure out ways where Blazer wins this game, and I just can't think of any. What do you think is his last card? A Mega Knight?
Well, it's certainly not another big spell. Oh my God! Stops the Princess with a monster fireball. Great hit by Wen. I think he was just trying to knock down that Ice Golem a little early to give that Expo a lock. But the fact that he got so much value wiping her out definitely clinches it. Wen will win, according to a lot of players in chat. He's got a lot of fans, including Clash with Ash.
Yeah, I mean, Wen played that absolutely phenomenally. And if you're Blazer right now, after having that happen, that's a play that stays with you to the next game. You know what I mean? That's one of those plays where, like, did I really just do that? You know, did I really put a Princess next to an Ice Golem when he had a Fireball? You know what I mean? Oh!
Mama! Another Fireball wallops that right side. The pushes cannot find any steam whatsoever. Wen with a huge damage lead is about to get an Expo lock. He gets the Ice Golem down in time, and that's it.
No, it's over. I mean, this Expo's locking on the tower, and there's just nothing he can do about it. Log comes in on the right-hand side, and when you have this good fireballs, you're not going to lose a game. Beautifully played by Wen. 92 left. Only a matter of time now.
Boom. You're done now.
Done.
Scrap.
Done.
Boom, boom, boom.
Cut him off. Cut him off. That's how you come back into a matchup, though. Like, down 0-1, Wen played that absolutely phenomenally. That was just absolutely... Back-to-back fire. How much value can you get on a fireball? You know what I mean? It's like, how long does it take to get to the end of, like, a Tootsie Pop? I totally forgot that, because I don't even remember that saying because it's been so long. That's how it's... Whew, what was that, like, in the 90s? That's the only 90s kids would remember that. How many licks does it take to get to the middle of a Tootsie roll? Pop? Yeah, there you go. Or, yeah. Tootsie roll? There we go. We got it eventually, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You knew what I was talking about. I just forgot. Yeah. Mega Minion on the left-hand side here. Going to be a Ice Golem and a Mega Minion from Wen. Wen now. Blazer on the left-hand side. Nice Wizard. A lot of Ice Golems and Ice Wizards coming around. Are we seeing Ice Wizard more because the meta just calls for it? Blood comes out on the left. And are we seeing a mirror deck here?
You know what I want to see, though, in chat? I want to see another ice spell. You know, we got Freeze spell out there, but I think there ought to be, like, a Blizzard-type spell that, like, does a little bit of damage and also, like, slows troops. I think that'd be pretty cool.
That would be
like 5 elixir.
Yeah, I actually came up with a, because this is going to be this is going to be a very slow-paced game right now. I actually came up with a card idea. It's called Thunderstorm. It's 5 elixir, It's 5 elixir. It does the exact same thing as a, let's just make sure this graveyard doesn't do that much damage. Oh, he activates the King Tower!
Wow.
Wow, beautifully played by Blazer. All right, so it's 5 elixir, does the same exact thing as a poison, but every 2 seconds instead of every second, it drops like lightning from the sky, and at the 4th second and at the 8th second, it does a zap. So it does damage 2, 4, 6, and 8 seconds, and at 4 and 8, it does a zap, and it does the exact amount of damage as a poison, but it does double the amount of damage every 2 seconds instead of every 1 second. So it gives another zap ability, so you don't have to run, so you can run that and log and be like, okay, I still have a zap in my deck, you know, to deal with all these Inferno Dragons and everything. Because I feel like the Inferno Dragons are one of the biggest problems right now in the Zap bait decks, because there's just nothing you can do. You know, you need the Zap for the Bats or the Spear Goblins right now.
So it's like you play a poison spell and then you get like a zap for 1 elixir instead of having to pay for 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting, I like that, yeah. You know, we don't see a whole lot of lightning or rocket anymore. The more expensive spells really do cost a lot. I think that you can probably get that to work well with either a Golem deck or a Giant deck. Big heavy hit out the right side, though. That's where most of the action's been happening here. It's Goblins duking it out against each other. 2 huts down on the field now for Blazer, and 2 for Wen as well. Brother versus brother. The Goblins are just going at each other, man.
Yeah, let's see who's able to get this game. I think this is an exact mirror match. And besides...
I don't see Tornado yet from Wen, but maybe he's done.
Yeah, if he has a Tornado, I think he does. There's just no opportunity to really Tornado yet. Wen getting down the double huts. I mean, I feel like whoever gets that one good push is going to win this game right now. Which is exciting, you know what I mean? It's that calm before the storm, you know? Well, once Elixir starts to get hit, and here comes a Graveyard on the right-hand side. Poison comes down as well.
Wow. And a defensive on top of that offensive poison. You can't really even tell because they're exactly overlapped on each other. That was quite a bit of damage there for Blazer. A defensive poison, not a perfect response to Graveyard. Sometimes you get a little bit of damage chipped off there. You would have expected Wen to get a little bit of an elixir lead from that exchange, but with so many huts down, Blazer's just been able to keep up the pressure the whole time. We do get an offensive poison this time from Wen, one from Blazer as well. That'll kind of equalize the playing field, but a damage lead ever so slight for Wen, or excuse me, for Blazer is going to help him out as overtime continues here now.
Yeah, as the Spear Goblins are just chipping down this Ice Golem, Ice Wizard. Gonna do a little bit here as well. Poison is just in range of this Ice Wizard. Beautifully played Poison.
Oh man, Blazer's got it, dude. That's a great hit.
Graveyard Poison though on the right-hand lane. This is gonna be a full value Poison. Ooh. Blazer.
He can't come back for that, man. That was just a monster hit from Blazer. It didn't do a whole lot of damage, but he got a great elixir advantage. He wiped out all the defensive troops. He's got a 500-point lead over Wen now. Blazer's got this, man. Some people were expecting this to go to an overtime, but Wen knows what's about to happen. He calls the good game as he faces down another onslaught of troops. Graveyard and Poison stacked up on his right side tower. Chipping away. No one single big strike ever took the tower down, but with a death by 1,000 cuts, Wen has been finished off, and France is on their way to potentially getting another point on the board. They'll need this win from Wen.
And that was an exact mirror match, so Blazer just played that better, just plain and simple. You know what I mean? Like you can't blame the decks on that one. You know, that was a huge victory for Blazer, and now he's going to go up 2-1 versus Wen. France needs this victory. You can't go down 4-1 right now. Hopefully Blazer can bring this back, take the victory for France, and make things interesting going into set number 6. But let's just see what they come out with in this next matchup. Wen is going to need a win now.
You see that in chat? Cole Boy says Blazer got hard countered.
Got him! I hope he was trying to troll.
He got the hard counter on him. Yeah,
We got him, boys!
Needed to wipe that deck out.
Oh, man.
Next one's starting off, though. We already got a pump down for Wen up on top. Blazer gonna split push here. Skeleton Barrel out the right with some bats to help out, but a defensive miner out the left to catch the goblins. I think that Wen is in a pretty good spot on defense here, as long as he's got a spell to wipe out the right side. Zap takes him down, and Wen is gonna soak a lot of damage here, but he's got an appreciable elixir advantage. I think he's ahead by 4 with that final pump coming out. Yep.
Yeah, 4 elixir ahead. Here comes Ice Golem on the right-hand lane. Can he make some value on this right-hand side? Wen versus Blazer. Here comes a pump on the right for Wen. And Blazer needs to get this miner to connect to the pump, but I just don't see that happening.
Wen with the elixir advantage is going to start off these 3 musky pushes. 2 down the right side, 1 over on the left. That should be able to deal with the Inferno Dragon pretty easily here. Miner to catch out the left side, but I still think that Wen's in a good position. He's on the counterattack now.
Right?
Oh no, he's going to go
hard.
for it. That'll run it down the left side to block for this Musketeer. He doesn't have any support out the right, but the Musketeers are going to lock on anyways. That's come in. Is there a zap from Wen? No, not this time.
I'm surprised he didn't pump up. He had to have known that a Mega Knight was in the rotation of Blazer there. I mean, that's kind of what this deck is. Here comes a miner. Oh no, this is going to be a lot of damage.
Goblin getting to block, and a great job by Blazer on defense there. He's going to be hard-pressed in double elixir time, but Wen has kind of stopped pumping up. He's not really going for that elixir advantage as much as before. He's really got a good opportunity here to get another juice collector down. There he goes in the center.
Here it is. Skeleton Barrel, the Smelly Barrel on the left-hand lane with the Spirit Goblins and Miners coming in on the right. Beautiful block from Wen. What he needed, though.
The skeletons, yeah. I mean, the thing that Blazer's got to be worried about now, though, is he doesn't have a big spell in his deck. There's no fireball, no poison. There's no way to shoot out those elixir collectors back there except to try to throw a miner at them. And a catch by Wen! The goblins are tearing through that miner, even with a zap spell by Blazer. That is not going to be able to work this time. Wen now has a maximal elixir advantage, and going into double elixir time with 3 muskies and a minion horde, Blazer's going to be really hard-pressed to defend against this next attack.
Yeah, I think now he's going to get down another pump. I think that's really smart from Wen. And I think now he's finally getting to that sweet spot, you know? That 3 Musketeer assault. Look at this. Double Muskies, minion horde on the right-hand lane. You might have thrown down your Mega Knight, but that's going to get chewed up by the minion horde. He doesn't even care about this. He's got 3 pumps down. Huge elixir advantage. And this might be the push. What do you think it's going to end here?
I think it's over right here. Wen didn't need to pump anymore. If he can just get a little bit more pressure out of the right side, he's going to get the win. Minion horde stacked on top of a battle ram is the perfect line of attack. Backside miner is going to be a ride, a little more assistance as well. Minions are murdering this Mega Knight. The Muskies make it through as well. Miner off the back is going to get the final blow. And Wen has tied this series up 2-2 against Blazer. We're going to a best of 5 tiebreaker final.
Whoo, man, game 5. You're France right now. You take a timeout?
I think you do. I think if you're going to be turning this series around, now is the time that it's going to happen. Wen just getting a win right there puts a lot of pressure on the French team. They were looking to clinch it with a 3-1. The fact that he drops now means that they've got to take another good look at themselves and figure out what can they do to stop the Brazilian beast.
Well, we're going to find out right now. They have to. They have to stop him. They have no choice. Like, if they don't stop him right now, it's going to be it's going to be bad. You don't want to go down 4-1. But the good thing is I really like the best of 5 series because once it gets to a game 5, like, it gets hype. But no, they're not going to take a game. They're not going to take a timeout. Blazers just going to go in here. And here comes Wen. Wen Blazer game 5. This is intense, Woody. This is intense. I want to see another mirror match.
No, man. I want to see a little bit of a mix-up here. Mirror matches are interesting because you always get to see which player can play that deck better. But I love the diversity of seeing lots of different cards. Wow. Negative elixir trait on this rocket drops the Goblin Hut though. Wen's down a little bit of juice, but Not too much, and it looks like Blazer's not going to commit with this Ice Golem at the right side.
Not at all. Not at all. Expo on the right-hand side from Wen. Blazer's in deep trouble. This is not looking good for Blazer at all. The lock comes out on the right-hand lane. No! Oh,
barely missed that lock. Blazer ought to be able to get another support troop down to be able to finish this Expo out. Or a hut to block? That's a little bit late. Kind of a weird hut. You would have expected him to play that a tiny bit sooner here. He's going to lose a lot of health off that hut from a very weak Expo.
That was really close, man. That could have just ended the entire game, but he's up so much elixir. I feel like Wen's going to cycle back to another Expo. Is he going to switch lanes? Yes, he is.
He does.
Man, he's got a rocket too, so you got to worry about the rocket if you are Blazer. And uh-oh.
Blazer protects his Mega Minion up there, and I think it was a great decision. He gets 2 swipes from it to finish that Expo off. Just the play he needed to prevent that connection. Blazer and Wen stare each other down. Wen's going to start off at the left side again. Going to continue applying pressure to his preferred lane. I think that Blazer is happy to kind of have this split game, though. No, actually, I guess not. He's going to be playing that hut right in the center there, going down the left side. Wen drops it with a rocket, but is he going to add an Expo on here? I think he's got a pretty good opportunity with an Ice Golem and a Mega Minion straight on the left side. A little bit aggressive from Wen, though. I think that Blazer might get the
the tornado!
Sucks that Ice Golem back. Frosty the Snowman is having a good time at the King Tower, but can't keep the Expo from locking. Another rocket will wipe out that Goblin Hut, and Blazer's on the ropes now, man.
Oh my goodness, here comes the Graveyard on the right-hand lane, though, trying to get any bit of value he can get. Is he going to get down a poison? No, he's not. He's just going to get down this Graveyard, not really do much. Ice Wizard does a decent job at countering the Graveyard. And Blazer needs to continue this assault, and Wen's in rocket cycle formation. This is like in football. This is what we're going to see tonight, the victory formation. Oh, no.
Defense from Wen. Yeah, he's going for the spell cycle, but he's got to be kind of careful here. The poison is able to hit that right side tower and the Expo at the same time, and Wen is not going to be able to get through this Goblin Hut with that defensive Expo. He's going to have to play another one at the left side now. He's catching the damage there, and an Ice Wizard to help out slow things down. It's going to put the cooler on Blazer's attack. Or on Wen's attack, excuse me. Left side Mega Minion continues to cycle, though, and Wen is looking for another Expo here. Wallops that Goblin Hut with a rocket. But Blazer's starting to get things a little bit closer to being tied up here. He's got to block this next Expo, though.
Tornado?
Can he do
Tornado?
it?
Oh, baby, it's over! It's over! Expo locks onto the tower. I don't believe it.
Oh my god, no Zap or E-Wiz in the deck to be able to stop that Expo, and that is going to seal the deal. 12 hit points left, means just one more log for Wen!
How do you place an Ice Golem there? How, Woody? You already had it happen to you once! The moment that thing dropped, the world knew a tornado was coming! Oh, no.
Super well played by Wen. I mean, that's just one of the things that you have to keep in mind if you're Blazer. If you're up against an Expo deck, you think that you're safe when you get the catch. You prevent the lock from the Expo. You got your Ice Golem down. Your brain is already thinking about the next step. How do I kill this Expo? You're not thinking, oh my god, wait, he can pull that Ice Golem back. He's done it before. He can get the lock still. Blazer was just not playing at the top of his game right there. I think that the other problem that he had is that with Mega Minion as his primary anti-Expo troop, not being able to prevent the lock with the flying troop means that Wen just has that much more of an opportunity to get the damage in. Brazil now with a 4-1 lead, dominating France. Just needs one more set victory, and they are the world champions.
That is 100% true. Oof, can they do it? Renikava versus Thomas Genesis. Coming out next. Kind of bit of a lag out again, so let me refresh and see if maybe that was the reason. All right, here we go. 3 Musketeers being played in the back. It looks like we got 3 Muskies versus maybe Barb Hut, Goblin Hut? Is this the double hut deck?
Could be. Barb Hut is, kind of struggling to get value in the current metagame. I wouldn't be surprised if Renan kind of switches it out for something else, but we did see it work very well in World Finals over there in London, so possible that the 8th and final card is that. We'll have to probably wait until double elixir time to see what that is.
We'll find out. Double elixir time. What is it going to be? I just saw what you sent me, Ash. I'm sending you something on Twitter right now, Ash. Check your DM. Okay. Poison on the right-hand side. Gonna take down the puck. And do a little bit here. 3 Musketeers once again being split in the back from Tom Jidusur. I just love this guy's name, Jidusur. Looks like a log coming out on the left-hand lane. 3 Muskies. Doing a lot of work here.
Not committing to this push, though. He's not going to be sending in a miner or anything to help these ladies out. Gets a little bit more chip damage out to the right side of Renan Kava's balls, but Tom Jidusur is the last line of defense for the French team. Pumping up again to the back right, I think, gives him a little bit more of a steady pace as we go into double elixir time here, nearing overtime. Pop down a skeleton barrel, but that cannon card is too much of an obstacle for those ladies to get through out the right lane.
Connection. The Musketeers raged up. This is going to be a tower on the left-hand side. Cham Dedusur is going to take the game here. 14 seconds left. I just do not think he's going to be able to take it in time. That's perfectly played right there by Tom. No question.
Very well done. The French team starting off with a nice lead in this next set. They still got a long uphill battle to go. But Tom Jidusur, Max Laminis, Mega Babao, and Donkey Kong, that is a killer lineup. If you had to stick in some amazing guys to finish off this series, I recognize those names from many big tournaments, from Paris Games Week on back, even to Paris Games Week like 2016. I recognize these names. CCGS finalists playing for the French team. A lot of firepower still left on their side.
Yeah, 100%. Miner coming in on the left-hand side. Oh, good ice spear catch.
Very good. Buys him an elixir advantage to push out the right side with an Expo. Tom Jidusur has got a little bit to worry about. This ice golem gets the catch. I wonder if Tom's playing the tornado variant.
Oh, Expo locks onto the tower. Looking really good for Tom.
Bringing it down to 1988. Tom's got a little bit of an elixir advantage as well. Renan Kava hasn't shown us a big, heavy card yet, but he could very well be playing Mega Knight in this deck.
He very well could be Ice Golem, Royal Ghost, Miner. So far have been shown. Guards coming out.
Oh, interesting. I guess he was expecting maybe to go up against like a P.E.K.K.A control deck. He probably would not have brought Mega Knight if that's the case. It's going to be a much lighter control deck than from Renan Kava. Stomps through the Expo without much difficulty out the right side, but the first 2 minutes are typically when you would expect the sort of deck that Renan Kava is playing to get most of its value. And so far, it just hasn't really panned out. Behind in damage, behind in elixir, and not really able to dictate the pace of this game. Ice Spirit is a good catch against the Archers, though. He's tied things up on the elixir field.
And here comes an Expo down on the right-hand side from Tom Jidusur. I mean, he just needs to connect with an Expo. Royal Ghost, though, gets so much value every single time. He's continuing to get value. Skeletons.
And Guard's got a little bit of a stab out on the left side, too. I don't know if you noticed that. Renan Kava got a tiny little bit of chip damage. The Guards are actually pretty threatening now that they got a little bit of a hit point buff. The tower's not able to deal with him just as well as it used to in the past. Definitely does require a response from Tom, and he didn't have one just that time. Didn't take a whole lot of damage, but Renan Kava's kind of slowly building up to the lead that he was looking for early game. Hasn't shown us that 8th and final card yet. Neither has Tom, but Expo's going to have a little bit of difficulty locking on the right side with so many ground troops in Renan's arsenal.
Guard's going to continue to get this little bit of chip on the left-hand side, as you said earlier. And I think Renenkava might have a tornado. For some reason, I don't know why I think it's a tornado, but it might be. And that's not going to help him versus Expo.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, unless he's able to get a real sneaky catch like last game. But Renenkava really relying on lots of troops to swarm the battlefield. Tornado is going to be a little bit riskier of a play if he tries to use that to get a catch. What? He's switching it up now. Expo at the left lane, trying to take advantage of the Royal Ghost marching down the right side.
Lock's on!
He gets the lock, but I don't think that's going to be value. Tom's got to worry a lot about this Royal Ghost at the right side still. Get some archers to split up and deal with that, but it's fallen behind in chat. And it's kind of strange that it's been the Expo player who's been on the ropes. Even in double elixir time, you'd expect it to start ramping up. But so many troops from Renenkava splitting up so effectively, this Expo has been just struggling the whole game to get a lock.
Here comes the lock coming down on the left-hand side.
I love that we've got all four corners of this game in play, though. All these towers have started to take a little bit of damage here. Renan and Tom Jitsu are happy to split up or switch lanes as needed. Right side counterattack is coming in from Renenkava. Gets a miner onto the back side. Getting a little bit of chip damage in there as well. The Royal Ghost has popped on the Ice Golem, giving him a little bit of a block as well. No Expo connection. And Renenkava will hold on to this damage lead, getting a few more swings at the left lane with the Royal Ghost now.
And
hard
Tom
commit by Tom. Tesla and an Ice Golem is a good start, but poison is just enough to prevent that Expo from living long enough to get the strike, and Tom Jetasaur has just got to be throwing his hands up in the air, wondering what he can possibly do against this quick cycle deck from Renenkava.
Yeah, this is just the classic minor poison versus Expo, and Renenkava is playing this absolutely phenomenal. Gets a little bit of action there on the right-hand side, and here comes the push on the right. Can he do it on the left-hand side? Tom Jetasaur.
Oh my god, the splash of the Ice Spirit lands on the right side tower, applying just a little bit more damage, and a strike from the miner, bringing it down to 299. That is within range, right? It's 216 or 217, 216.
Yeah, that's in range.
Yeah, with a minor hit on top, that'll do it for sure. Renenkava's got the game. Well played.
Very, very well played from Renenkava. And he's going to tie the set up 1-1. France is, he's got to really figure out what they're doing here. I mean, they need to win this set. Obviously, it's 4-1. But I mean, if you look at, sets 3, 4, and 5, they were 3-2s. It could have, the dice could have rolled any which way. I feel like France just needs to get this victory and then needs to tell them, listen guys, look at how we lost sets 3, 4, and 5. We're still in this. We can still win. And Tom Jetasaur, I think this might be the game where he needs to have the counter deck. I hate saying counter decks and everything like that, but if there's one time you kind of just sit there, at night, kneeling before your bed, you gotta expect that this is a counter deck if you're Tom Jetasaur, right? You gotta hope. Expo versus 3 Muskies. Oh no, Woody. We have a
It
problem.
came out real early. Tom Jetasaur not worried at all when he sees that Expo down. He knows that it's time to try to get a little bit of damage in there. Raged up over on the left side. One of them gets a pop shot against the Expo. The other is going to get a little bit of damage against the tower. I think Tom Jetasaur is happy with this matchup overall. They're both kind of playing for that double elixir time, but Tom Jetasaur has got a ton of ranged damage. It's going to really rely on Renan's really going to rely on getting a fireball kill against these Muskies to try to buy this lock with the Expo. Having to throw that fireball against the pump so many times, if Tom Jetasaur's got another fireball punish, if he's running Minion Horde in this deck, I don't know how Renenkava could possibly turn this thing around.
Well, I mean, Renenkava has the Ice Spirit guards to deal with the Muskies. I'm going to actually say that this is favorable to the Expo player just because Tom is just, every time he pushes, he's going to have to deal with guards, log, Ice Spirit, Mega Minion. And on this right-hand side, you know, guards played there, Ice Spirit then played, you know, he's having to deal with a lot of, you know, little troops coming out. And once double elixir time happens, the pumps from Tom are going to need to happen. I feel like he's going to need 3 pumps on the field if he wants to win this, which could very well happen, you know, if he cycles the 3 muskies to them.
Renan Kava just can't connect, though. There's so much on the ground from Tom. He doesn't have the minion board, so there is you know, a little bit lacking on his side in terms of like fireball bait. Something that Renan Kava can be happy about, but the logs are just coming in like clockwork from Tom, wiping out all sorts of little tiny defense that Renan's been able to set up. And this Expo is struggling to connect even with an Elixir Collector going down from Tom. Renan was not able to break through this time. I think that this is one 3 Muskies deck that's actually got an advantage over the Expo. Hunter is not going to get very much value, especially with such high single target DPS getting dished out by the Muskies. Watch this right side. Even as the guards come down... Oh, never mind. I thought Tom was going to apply a little bit more pressure out the right lane. Looks like he's going for the left hard, though, trying to keep this Expo off. The Royal Ghost connects to it, but nice hit from the Expo. Does lock her into the left side tower, and maybe he's got a chance of this thing after all. You might be right, Chen.
Yeah, a lot of damage coming in from the Expo. That's going to take it down to 8-10. And Lumberjack, not going to do much damage, but I feel like I said, he needed to get down 3 pumps, and he went a little too aggressive, and he paid the price. I think Tom Jetasaur was like you in the fact that he was like, I got this matchup no matter what. You know what I mean? And I think he just needed to get down, you know, the triple pumps. Put the 3 Muskies out to bait the fireball, and then pump 3 times. But, I mean, he does have a lot of damage on the left. It's going to be very interesting to see how Renan Kava wants to finish out this game. Does he go with the fireball cycle? Or does he go with an Expo locking on the tap? Oh, no!
Ooh. Bad fireball from Renan Kava. The Muskies pop that Expo down, and that left side's in a lot of trouble right now. Muskie gets the lock, and with a Lumberjack to protect her, I think that left side's in a lot of trouble. The Lumberjack gets the final blow, and Tom Jetasaur manages to get the victory after all. A 1-0 win there, and it's a 2-1 lead now for the French player over Renan Kava.
Wow, how do you play an Expo there, Woody, in Muskie range, and then fireball the ground, essentially? Oof, that was a 10 elixir. He just threw away 10 elixir, and that's going to be the game. Beautifully played by Tom. Got to hand it to him.
Renan played that Expo just close enough that 1 Musketeer could lock. And I think he saw that 1 Muskie lock, and he just assumed that all 3 were going to lock. That would have been a value fireball if he could have clipped all 3 Musketeers in there. But the fact that they only hit 1 and didn't even kill it really gave Tom the juice that he needed to drill in hard out the left lane. Lumberjack, the MVP of that push, but the Muskies just getting locks time after time.
Yeah, just over and over again. Tom Jetasaur versus Renan Kava. Tom can bring it back for France. I mean, Tom can bring this back for France if he wants to. Here comes a Executioner on the left-hand side versus little bait style from Renan Kava. I think Tom might have a favorable matchup here just looking at the first 3 cards.
I agree with you on that one. It's going to be all about whether or not Renan Kava can split push in the first 2 minutes to get the damage in that he needs. Tom is going to be much better positioned to play 1 lane of the map. And seeing Tornado and Zap and Executioner, I don't know how Renan Kava is going to win this game.
Yeah. He's got to pull a magic trick or something. Oh, and he's got a balloon too. Ice Spirit's going to connect. Miners coming out for the Princess. No, but I mean, that balloon's connecting, right?
It's getting awfully close.
Oh!
Drop is good. Ooh. And the left side already down to half hit points. A very aggressive play by Tom Jetasaur. He definitely has the edge in double elixir time, but the fact that he's already going for it in single elixir time tells me that he's feeling really confident about that early cycle. Right side Princess gets the lock, and Tom's going to have a little bit of a difficulty taking her down. He doesn't have skeletons in hand, and that is going to leave him really vulnerable at the left. Does he have a zap for these bats? All right, he's fine.
He does. Dang, if you're Renan Kava right now, you must be reeling because I don't know one deck that you would least want to play than a Miner Balloon Executioner Tornado deck if you have every single one of your units dodged Execution. Like, I think the Executioner is the hardest counter to, like, four of the cards.
Oh, Executioner going down the right lane. Feels like a little bit of an accidental swap there. He's trying to take out the Princess and keep going down the same side, but not going to work out for him this time. A little bit of a split push out the left side. It's both ground and aerial attacks. Awkward timing on this tornado, though. A lot of skeletons started to stack up. That means that those bats are going to have a chance. Nope. Never mind. Ice Spirit is able to take him down. Thanks to Ben for showing up, by the way. Ben Sierra, a good friend of mine, rooting for Tom, his teammate from Team Tribe. And this strike at the left gets some value in here, though. We've got a Mega Knight and an Inferno Dragon. One of the heaviest pushes that Ranikawa's deck can put together. Tornado pulling in all those troops, though. But leaving the skeletons alive. That's pretty dangerous to the right side. Jump from the Mega Knight, no good though, and the lock from the Inferno Dragon not going to catch it this time. Tom Jetasaur holding on to that damage advantage down both lanes, but behind a little bit in Elixir. That might give him an opening here. Yeah, Tom probably wishes he had Log. Do you think, or is that better because he's still got to deal with the bats?
I mean, the Zap is okay. I think the biggest problem is when that Executioner went to the wrong lane, he just wasn't ready for it. He's got to waste a Knight on the left hand side. That one little misplay on the Executioner, you know, when it turned around and went to the other side, really opened up Ranikawa to actually get some damage.
Oh.
But this
could be the killing blow.
Yeah,
I don't know how he's going to stop this balloon.
I don't think you can. Great tornado, and there it is.
Got it!
Tom Jetasaur keeping France alive. Mwah, magnifique. A bon appetit. France staying alive. It's gonna be 4-2. Woo, man. That was intense. That was intense.
And can we get a shout out real quick for Hilmi? Doing an awesome job moderating this match. I know that there's a lot of difficulty in running these leagues, especially when you've got guys who speak different languages. But the mods from MGL Worlds are unmatched anywhere else in the Clash Royale competitive scene. Very efficiently run tournament. And big kudos to them for making it work so well.
Yes, definitely. The mods definitely put in the overtime. Keeping the chat clean. Just the captain's talk. Max Lemenis versus Victor. Can Max keep France alive? That's the question. That is the question. Archers split in the back here. The Menace. The pressure has to be on Max, though, you feel still, right? As a player, do you think he feels the pressure with his team down 4-2, knowing that he could be it?
Oh, undoubtedly. A little bit of an awkward defense with this Tesla. I think that he's really playing for double elixir time. Max has probably got an Expo deck by all expectations here. But yeah, he's definitely got his back up against the wall. Even though it's just the beginning of a set, you know, it's 0-0. He knows that if he drops this set, he you know, the team is done. There's no more. And even if, you know, he had 4 other teammates that dropped sets, if he's the one that gets the killing, you know, blow dealt to him, he's got to feel bad. He's got a lot of pressure to succeed here, and it's just a question of whether he works well under pressure and can thrive, or if he's going to get taken out by Victor, who could be the last player for Brazil here. What? Whoa, Ghost ignores that Tesla going straight for the tower, and that's not a good result for Max. Lots of damage out the right lane. 700 about in total as Victor continues to apply pressure here with the flying machine coming in.
All right, the flying machine going to get taken out here, no problem. Expo on the right-hand side. Is this going to connect onto the tower? No! Just gets the battle ram in time. That would have been a little scary. That would have been a little scary.
Support just a little bit too weak for that Expo.
Fireball, though!
Hold on.
And the Mega Man is going to clear out the flying machine, and what a play by Max.
Oh my god. Really poor defense from Victor allowed Max to pull off a lead now. I thought that he was going to be fine, but Victor dropping that flying machine a little bit too close. Let the Mega Minion eat it up. We see P.E.K.K.A coming out now, though. Now that we're in double elixir time, it's going to be difficult for the Expo to get a lock. Nice little bit of splash damage from that Ice Spirit's jumping on. But Max has Gonna be running out of luck if he can't get through this big, heavy moment Pekka.
And here comes the Pekka on the right-hand lane. The double Teslas are down. The fireball comes out, completely misses.
Yeah, really awkward fireball. Missing
are we
that.
Gonna see,
not good at all.
Are we gonna see this game being like the tail of the fireball? Who gets the first good fireball first?
Tell me about the tail of the fireball in chat. I'm not familiar with that one.
The tail of the fireball. I don't know. I kind of just made it up.
Is that a story that the Jedi wouldn't tell you?
Yeah.
The fireball.
I mean, these fireballs. All right, good stuff here. Mega Man on the right-hand lane. That's going to absolutely destroy everything. Can he get down an Expo? That's the million-dollar question, but there's so much elixir for Victor, you can't even afford to get down an Expo. Barbarians absolutely demolishing the tower. And look at this Ghost. He's just going to be roaming around. The Tesla does not activate it. Ice Golem has to be played here.
What is wrong with Max Menace? He keeps on getting a lot of damage with these Royal Ghosts. That Tesla just slightly out of range. He's got to pop it up, I think, one more tile or over to the right one more tile.
The Tesla completely ignores the Royal Ghost. It's just he has to get down his archers a little bit earlier there.
Insulates that Tesla to keep the Pekka alive, but Max Menace on the ropes now needs to get an Expo lock. He could still win this thing for sure.
I say go for the home run fireball. Nope. Pekka's, man.
Victor's poison cycle is going to win the game, though, if Max Menace can't get this Pekka down. And with the Mega Man being distracted, Max is in a lot of trouble right now. I think that Victor's going to take the first game of the set.
Yeah, I don't see how Victor, the Menace, can win this. I mean, poison log, game over, GG, well played.
Forced to drop that Ice Golem, though. This Expo is not going to have as much support as it needs. The ground-based game is just not going to work with poison and log on top. I think Victor's going to be able to seal the deal here and now.
You know, it's over, man. It's GG. Well played. Victor, I mean, you got to give him props. He played it beautifully. I mean, Max Menace had one good fireball, got a lock on the tower, but that was it. Menace hung on for the rest of the game. And that was that. Only a 48. Okay, good.
Goose says it well in the chat here. He says, Victor is the victor. So far he is, but remember, it's a best of 5. If you're rooting for Team France, they've got a chance to turn this thing around still.
Yeah, no big deal. Still has a lot of time to turn it around, actually. Not too much. So we have this, guys, if you are German, Chinese, Arabic, speak Arabic, English, Italian, Spanish, France, Vietnamese, French, Vietnamese, or Brazilian, we have a stream for you. We are streaming this in 9 different languages, guys. 9 different languages for you guys.
Truly a worldwide event. Thank you very much, Trent Chatton. You've done a ton of work on MGL Worlds, and I know that the rest of Hashtag Studios and the MGL guys are very proud of what you've been able to put together here. A lot is riding on this final series. We're going to find out if France or Brazil are the new world champions.
Everybody's making fun of me.
Arabic, yeah.
Because I said
Arabic.
Arabic.
Look, casting is hard, guys, okay? Talking very hard.
Listen, talking is hard, guys. Talking is hard.
Arabic.
You know what I mean. Talking is hard, guys. I don't talk good sometimes. Exactly. Exactly. You control me now. All right. Giant Mega Man on the right-hand lane. This might actually take an entire tower. Mega Man locks on 1, 2, 3. It's just continuing to swipe as that tower is getting pummeled by left-hand swings. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Devastation ultimate in the first minute. Tower goes down. Max Menace very likely to just soak this Mega Man out the right side. He's got to be a lot more worried about the Golem March that Victor's starting over on the left side. You typically only see that Golem come out in double elixir time, but Victor with a huge elixir advantage thanks to that pump surviving the minor attack. means that he's ready to go on the offense right now. Max Menace defending with a Night Witch is just not enough to stop this push just yet. A log coming through here might be able to clear out that Night Witch, but the dangerous thing about her is that she's got so many flying bats up on top. And Max Menace is just going to soak in damage here now, letting Victor tie it up 1-1.
Oh no, Lumberjack on the tower.
A Giant is coming out to soak a little bit more damage at the left lane. The Lumberjack connects.
It's over, Woody.
Down to half hit points, and Victor's going for the kill right now.
Oh no, France needs to take a timeout. They are in trouble.
What just happened in chatting? And good early start for Max, but Victor got the reverse punish. Kept his pump nice and healthy, and even though he drops the right side tower, it was a purely calculated move. Knew that he had so much elixir to dump onto that left lane that he could go all the way to the king.
Wow. That's insanity. It's over. GG, well played.
This whole series could be over in one more game.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta take a timeout if you're France, right? No?
I guess Max Menace is just ready to go. He's ready to try to seal the deal.
I feel like if you're the captain...
Hold on.
If you're the captain, you got to be like, hold on. I know you might think you're ready, but let's take a step back. Take a deep breath. Go outside, you know, inhale some fresh air.
Resubscription confirmed.
You got to do
Automatically
something.
relaying. Thanks.
Match point hype.
Hey, Woody with the 11 months match point hype. Let's get some rockets in the chat. Where are my rockets? Where's the wood? Wood, right? It's wood?
Yeah, the rockets.
Hey.
With the wood hypes. Hey.
Thank you for the subscribe, Reno, my man. You were waiting for that the whole time, weren't you? Savage. All right, Graveyard on the right-hand side for Victor. This could be a huge push. Log coming out from the Menace. Oh, man. A lot of skeletons on the backside of this tower, 1965.
There's nothing going right for Max here. Graveyard gets a little bit of chip damage at the right side. I think Victor's ahead a little bit over. Oh no! Places Goblin had too close to the right side tower. Vulnerable, but I think that it's not going to get punished too hard here. Poison would have been able to hit it anyways. A little bit of awkward positioning, but I don't think that Victor's got too much to worry about right now.
Well, here comes a push here. I mean, and Matt, I mean, this is scary, man. I mean, this is super scary. It's a good thing I'm not, like, from France, so, like, I'm not on, like, the edge of my seat right now casting, because, like, I imagine the French stream right now is probably all, because they have 5 people. They have 5 casters in a booth, in a studio, actually. They have 5 casters all together in a studio right now, casting. So, they are all probably, very, very, very on the edge of their seat here. On the right-hand side, going to take a little bit of the Goblin on and a lot of the Princess Tower Ice Gun coming on the right-hand side. A lot coming out as well. Graveyard coming down. Mega Minion and Ice Wizard. It's not going to be enough, though. What, he's doing a ton of damage.
Really unlucky spawns for Max Menace. The Graveyard actually had quite a bit set up to counter it. The Ice Wizard and the Mega Minion swiping away, but just the Ice Wizard not getting the splash damage he needed against those clumps of skeletons, and the Mega Minion unable to deal with him as well. That's a lot of damage in there from Victor. Max Menace is able to turn it around partially here, but still behind in damage overall, and could suffer if the poison cycle keeps up the way that Victor's been able to, you know, do it so far. Switching lanes now, Max Menace going in for the Hail Mary Ice Golem out the left side to block for a Graveyard. Gets some chip damage in there and forces Victor to go, you know, opposite lane here, but I think that he got a fine defense at the left, and Max is still in a lot of trouble. Log rolls through the right lane, just chipping away, and we could see the end of this whole series really soon.
Yeah, Graveyard Poison coming in on the right-hand lane. Victor taking that chip damage off of the Menace. 207, 180, 46. One Spear Goblin or a Log is gonna end it. Brazil is going to be MGL Worlds Season 2 champion of the world. Oh my goodness, it's over. Wow, that was a wonderful performance from Brazil. They still had King Zhao to go too. Donkey Kong, Mega Babu. Beautifully played by Brazil. What are your thoughts on that matchup?
An awesome job from both teams. You can just look at the scoreboard and see how close France was. There were three 3-2 matches that the Brazilians were able to take down. It was not, a stomping by any stretch, even though the scoreboard definitely reflects the dominance, that Brazil was able to put down on the match score overall. The French definitely put up a great fight, but the title will remain in the hands of the Latin Americans, shifting from Mexico from season 1 to Brazil now in season 2. MGL Worlds has put together another amazing series of events for you guys to watch. I really hope that you enjoyed the casting here today. It was my pleasure to join you here in chat, and thank you very much for inviting me, man. It's always a great joy to be able to do Clash Royale events with you, whether it's out in London or Paris or Cologne.
Yeah.
Oh, what another great series,
man. Travel the world. Jeez, man. Yes, but thank you so much for coming on, Woody. Much appreciated, my man, helping me out. Guys, definitely give him a follow. Let me get a shout out in the chat for the man. Oh, you're just Woody now, right? You just got Woody. The big wood. That's it. Oh, man. But thank you guys so much for watching MGL World Season 2. Your champions are going to be Brazil with a 4-2 victory over France. GG. Well played. Whoo, my goodness, man. That was crazy. Crazy matchups. Let me see. Who's on here? Who